Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet.
Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Drama on this Monday edition of the podcast with episodes of Counterspy, The Mysterious Traveler, Suspense, Wanted, and Lum and Abner. That's all straight ahead on this Monday. This is the 8th day of September, 251st day of the year, 114 days left in 2025. A powerful hurricane hit Galveston, Texas on this date in 1900. 8,000 people killed. In 1914, Private Thomas Highgate became the first British soldier to be executed for desertion during World War I. In 1921, 16-year-old Margaret Gorman won the Atlantic City Pageant's Golden Mermaid Trophy. Pageant officials later dubbed her the first Miss America. Germany admitted to the League of Nations on this date in 1926. In 1930, 3M began marketing Scotch transparent tape. In 1935, Senator from Louisiana Huey Long, nicknamed Kingfish, fatally shot in the Louisiana Capitol building. In 1945, U.S. troops arrived to partition the southern part of Korea in response to Soviet troops occupying the northern part of the peninsula a month earlier. In San Francisco on this date in 1951, 48 nations signed a peace treaty with Japan in formal recognition of the end of the Pacific War. In Huntsville, Alabama on this date in 1960, President Eisenhower formally dedicated the Marshall Space Flight Center. NASA had already activated the center on July 1st. Premiering on NBC on this date in 1966, the original Star Trek. It only lasted 3 seasons in first run, but it spawned a franchise that still survives to this day. In 1970, hijacking and subsequent destruction of 3 airliners to Jordan by Palestinians, the event to follow would later become known as Black September. In Washington on this date in 1971, the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts inaugurated, the opening feature being the premiere of Leonard Bernstein's Mass. It was on this date in 1974 President Ford pardoned former President Nixon for any crimes he may have committed while in office.
I, Gerald R. Ford, President of the United States, pursuant to the pardon power conferred upon me by Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution, have granted, and by these presents do grant, a full, free, and absolute pardon unto Richard Nixon for all offenses against the United States which he, Richard Nixon, has committed or may have committed or taken part in during the period from July 20, 1969 through August 9, 1974.
The fallout from that and a number of other things prevented Ford from being elected to a term of his own in 1976. Evel Knievel's attempt to jump the Snake River Canyon at Twin Falls, Idaho failed on this date in 1974 after a parachute prematurely deployed on his sky cycle. Air Force Tech Sergeant Leonard Maklovich, a decorated veteran of the Vietnam War, appeared in his Air Force uniform on the cover of Time magazine on this date in 1975 with the headline printed in all uppercase, "I am a homosexual." He would later be given a general discharge. An air tragedy on this date in 1994 as U.S. Air Flight 427 from Chicago's O'Hare to Pittsburgh International Airport crashed. Here's an eyewitness to the aftermath.
It was just like World War II, but I never seen anything that bad when I was in World War II. It's a horrible sight. There's debris hanging from the trees, parts of suitcases, seats, the whole works, and probably parts of flesh. It's dark up there, but everything was hanging. It's just a horrible sight.
All 132 people aboard the flight died. On this date in 1998, Mark McGwire, the St. Louis Cardinals, broke Roger Maris's single-season home run record when he hit homer number 62 off Steve Traischel of the Chicago Cubs. McGwire told the adoring home crowd at Busch Stadium he was happy to have finally eclipsed the milestone.
I knew tonight was going to be the night. And I can honestly now say I can rest my bat alongside Roger Maris's bat in the Hall of Fame, and I'm damn proud of it.
McGwire wound up the season with 70 home runs. Barry Bonds would eclipse his record with 73 in a single season. In 1999, Attorney General Janet Reno named former Senator John Danforth to head an independent investigation of the 1993 fire at the Branch Davidian Church near Waco, Texas, that in response to revelations in the film Waco, The Rules of Engagement, contradicting the official government stories. The whole thing still remains muddy to this day. In 2003, Brianna Lahara, a 12-year-old U.S. schoolgirl, sued by the Recording Industry Association of America for sharing music illegally. In 2004, NASA's unmanned spacecraft Genesis crash-landed when its parachute failed to open. In 2005, 2 aircraft from Amercom landed at a disaster aid staging area at Little Rock Air Force Base, the first time Russia had flown such a mission to North America. 2016, NASA launched OSIRIS-REx, its first asteroid sample return mission. The probe visited Benin and returned with samples.
We are interrupting our normal programme to bring you some very important news. Buckingham Palace has announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
BBC announcing that Queen Elizabeth II of the United Kingdom died at Balmoral Castle in Scotland after reigning for 70 years. Prime Minister Liz Truss.
Her life of service stretched beyond most of our living memories. In return, she was loved and admired by the people in the United Kingdom and all around the world.
Her son Charles, Prince of Wales, ascended to the throne upon her death as King Charles III. Among those passing away on this date in history, singer-actress Dorothy Dandridge, game show host and Superman on the radio Bud Collyer, actor-comedian Zero Mostel, best remembered as the role as Tevye, Fiddler on the Roof, If I Were a Rich Man, Country Music Hall of Famer Don Williams, and Troy Gentry of the country duo Montgomery Gentry. Birthdays on this date of those who have gone on ahead of us: Czech composer Anton Dvorak, Sam Drucker on Green Acres, and also did a number of radio roles. Frank Cady, comedian Sid Caesar, Peyton Place novelist Grace Metalius, actor Peter Sellers, and singer Patsy Cline. All those folks born on this date in history who have left the building.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
The independent senator who made a run for president as a Democrat, Bernie Sanders, is 84, but yeah, they didn't really give him a fair chance.
I move that Hillary Clinton be selected as the nominee of the Democratic Party for President of the United States.
And I will tell you to this day, if it had been Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump, we might have seen a totally different an outcome to that election in 2016. Bernie Sanders, 84 years old today. From the Fall Guy, Heather Thomas, 68. Till Tuesdays, Amy Mann is 65. Pro wrestler Raven, who I believe is writing a new book, 61 years old today, Scotty Levy. Also, Brooke Burke from Dancing with the Stars and Penn and Teller's Fool Us is 54 today. Actor-wrestler David Arquette is 54. He was made the World Championship Wrestling champion, and a lot of people ragged on the company for doing that. But something that a lot of people don't know is that all the money he made during his tenure and working with World Championship Wrestling was donated to the families of Owen Hart, who died in a freak accident, Brian Pillman, who died from an undiagnosed heart condition, and Darren Drozdov, who became a quadriplegic after an in-ring accident. So how can you knock a guy doing that? David Arquette, and he still is on the edges of the independent wrestling scene today at 54 years of age. From MTV and Fox Business, former VJ, now commentator Kennedy, 53. Singer Pink is 46. And from Home Improvement, Jonathan Taylor Thomas is 44. Those just a few of the people who celebrate the 8th day of September as their birthday. And if this happens to be your birthday...
Hi, we're the Four Freshmen, and we just want to say... Happy birthday to you!
We're going to go back to September 8th, 1949, 76 years ago. Counterspy.
This is Lyle Wagoner for the IRS with a word about accuracy. When you do your income tax return, check your math. Use the peel-off label and envelope from your tax package. Attach all W-2s and schedules. And don't forget to sign your return. Be accurate. Then things go right. No delays if you're waiting for a refund. A message from the IRS.
Based on the success of the 1930 film G-Men starring James Cagney, that was actually a 1935 motion picture, Phillips H. Lords believed there was a place on radio for a show of the same type. Well, he went to J. Edgar Hoover. They produced a radio show. He wasn't totally favorable, but Attorney General Homer Style Cumming contributed his full support. So they produced a radio show called G-Men. Well, the problem was J. Edgar Hoover did not like the shoot-'em-up nature of the show. They did an episode about John Dillinger. The show was less about the procedurals that took place, and it was more about bang, bang, you're dead. G-Men was subject to the whims of Hoover. So, while that show aired from July 20th to October 12th on NBC, premiering in January of 1936, Gangbusters came out, and it just went all over the place. Lord had Norman Schwarzkopf Sr., the former head of the New Jersey State Police, introduce the program, and that was after Lord ended his connection with the FBI. And in 1945, New York City Police Commissioner Louis Joseph Valentine replaced Schwarzkopf as the authoritative opening speaker. There was no other sort of espionage-type show. So when the FBI in Peace and War and This Is Your FBI came about, Phillips H. Lords created the fictional Counterspies, and it set about in World War II. Starting out in 1942 and ran until, I believe, 1957. I'll look that up during the break while we listen to the show. It was on the Blue Network, it was on ABC, it was on NBC, and it was on Mutual during all of those times, periodically. We're going to go back now 76 years, September 8th, 1949. 76 years ago, and here, the case of the Courageous Come On.
This is David Harding. Because of the importance of tonight's Counterspy case, following our dramatization, there will be a special message from the Vice President of the United States of interest to all Americans.
Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I. That's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy, calling Washington.
United States Counterspies, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, the case of the courageous Come On. Another Counterspy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot.
That's right, you heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glassful. And what a delicious glassful. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor. And that big, big bottle saves you money. Goes twice as far. Pepsi's America's big, big favorite. And America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi's best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, to Counterspy. It is a scene truly out of the Old West. A dance and gambling hall crowded with hard-riding, fast-shooting men enjoying themselves, but at any moment ready for action. Suddenly, the swinging doors fly open. A tall, languid cowpoke stands framed in them. The crowd quiets down as the cowpoke ambles to the bar and stops in front of a well-dressed, shifty-eyed man.
Well, dude, it's sundown, and I'm still in town.
You don't take advice easy, Steve Morgan.
I'm choosy about whose advice I take, dude. I don't like yours. I give you 5 seconds to draw.
Now, look, Steve, you don't want to...
Okay, that's it. Cut! Camera will print that take. All right, boys, clear the set so we can do the fight scene next. Oh, Gary!
Well, how did it go, my great director? Okay?
Swell. Great strong jaw stuff.
Thanks.
You've got a visitor, Gary. Dr. Hobart Wayland. This is Gary Marlowe. Steve Morgan in this picture we're shooting.
Well, how do you do, Mr. Marlowe? It's quite a thrill meeting you in person after seeing you in so many films.
Thank you, Doctor.
May I present my assistant, James Dover?
Oh, hello, Mr. Dover. Oh, it's all right, Mr. Marlowe. I can shake hands with my left. Get used to it after being without a right arm a couple of years. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice. Okay. Everyone spots the leg first.
Mr. Marlowe, is there somewhere we could talk privately?
Why, my dressing room. Just follow me.
To get to the point, Mr. Marlowe, I'm heading the Institute for Disabled Workers, and we're embarking on a large fundraising campaign.
Well, maybe I'd better save your time, Dr. Whalen. All my charitable contributions are handled by my business manager.
We're not looking for charity, Mr. Marlowe.
Jimmy?
Why is it every time you guys see somebody without an arm or a leg, you think of tin cups and begging?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought...
Sure, I know you thought we're looking for a handout. Charity, huh? Did you ever take any, Mr. Marlowe? It sticks in your craw.
Jimmy, you better wait outside.
I'm sorry, Doctor. Believe me, Mr. Dover, I didn't mean...
My fault, Mr. Marlowe. I fly off the handle too easy.
Wait outside, Jimmy. I'll finish our business with Mr. Marlowe.
All right, Doctor. I'm sorry again. I'm always being sorry.
Doctor, I didn't mean to hurt him.
No one does. You see, Mr. Marlowe, that's what my institute is for. To educate the public to the abilities of disabled people. To accept a man, minus an arm and a leg like Jimmy, for instance, as a man, not a cripple.
Dr. Wayland, any way I can help you, I will.
Well, thank you, Mr. Marlowe. You can by contribution. Not of your money, but of your time.
Yes?
A month from now, we're holding a benefit in New York City. It's to raise money to set up a chain of industrial and liberal arts schools for the disabled. So they can become self-employed.
A month from now, you said?
Yes. Now, I'd like you, the famous Western film star, to be our master of ceremonies. We'll have a full program of stars and celebrities.
Why, I think I can do it, Dr. Whalen. I'll have to clear it with my agent in my studio, but that should be simple.
Splendid, Mr. Marlowe. Thanks for your cooperation. I'll have my secretary, Miss Vicky Brent, call you for a final confirmation. Good day, sir.
To David Harding, United United States Counterspies, Washington, from United Stage and Screen Actors Union, pursuant to Tax Bureau memorandum. This is to notify you that members of our union are being solicited to appear at a benefit performance for the Institute for the Disabled. Dr. Hobart Whalen, Director. We are notifying our members they may appear unless you notify us to the contrary.
Mr. Harding, the telegram just came in for you.
Let's see, Peter. Oh, yes.
What's it all about?
Oh, that's right. You were out of town on the Horn case when this memorandum was issued.
I must have been. I don't know what it refers to.
Charity benefit performances. The Tax Bureau has been having trouble with them.
Oh? How?
Well, in some instances, the tax regulations allow entertainers to deduct contributions of their services to charity just as if they had donated cash. But there were a number of benefits last year that were nothing but highly organized rackets.
Oh, I get it. The tax people wouldn't allow the deductions for playing those benefits.
That's right. So we've worked out an arrangement with them and the various entertainers' unions. They notify us of scheduled benefits, so we make a routine investigation.
Do the sponsors of the benefits know about it?
Not if we give them a clean bill of health.
And if we don't?
No benefit. Unless they want to promote one for themselves in the penitentiary.
Fine. For once we get a chance to stop a crime before it's committed.
That's about it. So put this institute and this Dr. Hobart Whalen through a routine investigation, then we can forget it. Unless, of course, it turns out to be not routine.
Yes, Mr. Marlowe? Well, this is Dr. Whalen's secretary. I'll give him your message just as soon as he gets back here to the office. And we'll see you in New York in a month. Goodbye.
The great Gary Marlowe, huh, Vicky?
Yes, Jimmy. He says he'll MC the benefit performance.
Wonderful.
You're not very enthusiastic about it, are you, Jimmy?
Sorry, Vicky, I've got the blues.
Vicky, Jimmy, I have splendid news.
What is it, Dr. Whalen?
Well, I've just talked to the management of Coliseum Hall in New York by transcontinental phone. They're going to let us have the hall for our benefit for just expenses. They're giving up their usual profit.
Wonderful, Doctor. Isn't it, Jimmy?
Yeah, great.
Well, what's the matter?
Jimmy's a little down in the dumps today.
Oh?
Doctor, it's just that I haven't been doing anything. Just hanging around, acting like a pitch to soften people up. I walk in, they took a look at me, and they go woozy. And, well, I can't stand the pity in their eyes when they see what the war did to me.
I know how you feel, boy. That's why your job is the toughest of all.
Yeah?
Because you've got to stand that pity. The misplaced pity of a lot of well-meaning people. You've got to do that so we can break the ground and educate them to know that you don't need pity. We've got to show people that a boy like you is well able to take care of himself. Show them in a dramatic manner that they'll never forget.
Maybe you're right, Doc.
Of course I am. Now, I just made train reservations to New York. You go down to the station, get those tickets. On the double. And don't tell me that you can't do that with one leg. I know you better.
Okay, Dr. Whalen. Sorry. On a double.
Now, Vicky, think I set the boy straight?
No question about it.
Funny thing is, every word I said was true.
And you didn't mean a single one.
The important thing is, he thinks I did.
Yeah, he does.
Now, what's the matter with you, Vicky?
Him.
Him? You falling for that half-man?
Shut up.
No, wait a...
I'm working this con game with you. That doesn't mean I have to like it.
What brought on this sudden distaste?
I just got a mental picture of Jimmy when he finds out that you and I are phony.
Really? Was he heartbroken?
Why don't
The
you...
tears were streaming down his face. Touching sight.
Doc, what do you use for a heart?
A pump composed of animal tissue like every other human being.
Don't flatter yourself.
All right, I'll change that. Like every other animal in the jungle you call civilization.
Doc.
The survival of the fittest. The strong eat the weak. I'm strong, Vicky. The kid's a sucker. In fact, he's a cripple. Doesn't change that. Simply makes him better bait to lure on the healthy suckers.
Okay, Doc. No lectures.
Whatever you say, Vicky. Just don't turn into a sucker yourself.
It's a little late for me to change sides, I guess.
That's right. So snap out of it, Vicky. 2 more days, we head for New York.
Jimmy. May I come in?
Sure, Jimmy, sure. The door's not locked.
I thought you'd be in the club car.
Got my own club car. Right here in my own compartment.
Oh. Oh, I see. Do you get train sick? Is that why?
No, I just like a drink now and then. Nothing wrong with that, is there?
Oh, of course not, Vicky. If you want me to go...
Why should I want you to go? Sit down. Look at the scenery. It goes by.
I've just been talking to Dr. Whalen.
Dr. Whalen. That calls for another drink. You want one?
Vicky, don't you think you've had enough?
I've had enough of something, but it's not this.
Okay.
What you looking at?
The countryside.
Oh.
Makes me kind of ashamed of myself.
You ashamed?
Look at it, Vicky. Wide and rolling. Those wheat fields. Pretty in the sun, aren't they?
So pretty.
The doctor's right.
The doctor? Oh, yes, Dr. Wade.
Vicky, I've decided something. This country's big enough for everything, everybody. The mountains we went through. The plains we'll be rolling over soon. There's room in it for every man, even a guy like me, a half... Sorry, Vicky.
The doc told you that, huh?
Yeah, but I added something of my own. Vicky, this country's big, but it needs me. I'm alive. I've got something to give it. Me and a million other men and women like me. Trouble is, it's kind of slow to wake up to the fact. Sort of stupid. But I'm going to help smarten it up.
You are?
Sure, Vicky, and you, too.
Mm. You know something, Jimmy? You know who's stupid?
No, Vicky, who?
You're stupid.
How
And a sucker. Oh, what a sucker. You're not a strong one. You're not like the doc. You're not like me. Strong ones. That's me.
Vicky, what are you talking
And the
about?
the doc. He couldn't even give you a prescription to buy a bandage in a drugstore.
Now, Vicky, snap
No,
out.
you listen to me. Tell you a beautiful story about a rat. A pretty rat. You think I'm pretty, don't you, Jim?
Now, Vicky, makes sense.
I wish I didn't, but I do. Jimmy, our organization is a phony, and the doc is a phony, and I'm a phony.
What are you saying?
What am I saying? I'm down off that crutch of yours. And I'll tell you.
Operator, I'm in a railroad station. I only have 8 minutes. I don't know the number, but I've got to talk to Counterspy headquarters in Washington, D.C. Mr. David Hardy.
Mr. Peters, call Mr. Harding right away. Mr. Peters, call Mr. Harding right away.
This is Peters, Dave.
Yes, Peters. Has anything come in on the investigation of that benefit for the disabled?
No, Chief. You said it was just routine.
Well, it's not routine anymore. Bring whatever you've got to my office. We've got to go to work. Fast.
Back to Counterspy in just a moment. But first...
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. Truthful glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
More and more, among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that sane and sensible question, why take less when Pepsi's best? No budget, no allowance, ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste. Twice as much delicious Pepsi to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi's best? Yes, families like yours and mine. Families all over America. They're all saying, why take less when Pepsi's best?
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. Tastes terrific when you're hot. More and better than the rest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always. Get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store. And say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi. Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember.
Why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, back to Counterspy. Vicky Brent are in a corridor of a large New York hotel. Jimmy raises his good arm to knock on the door of room 302, then pauses.
Sure you want to go through with this, Vicky?
I'm sure.
Let it go.
Come in.
Come on. Mr. Hardy?
That's right, Mr. Dover. Come in. Sit down.
This is Miss Vicky Brent I told you about.
Yes. Won't you sit down, Miss Brent?
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Why not sit back, Miss Brent? You don't look very comfortable perched on the edge of that chair.
I'm a little nervous.
No, it's all right, Vicky.
This is my assistant, Mr. Peters. Miss Brent, Mr. Dover.
How do you do, Mr. Peters?
Dover. Now, Mr. Dover, let's listen to you. What about this phony benefit you called me about?
Well, I told you about Dr. Wayland and my part in it.
Sketchily, yes. Well, we've already investigated Wayland. He has a long record as a confidence man and a chiseling promoter.
Well, I think Vicky, Miss Brent can give you a better picture of the setup than I can.
Oh, Miss Brent?
First, Mr. Harding, I want to get one thing straight.
Yes.
Jimmy's got a little blind spot about me. This isn't the first fake deal I've been in. The doc didn't con me into it. I knew what it was all about from the start.
I'm glad you said that, Miss Brent. It's a good beginning.
What?
We've been looking you up, too. Peters.
Victoria Brent, alias Barry, alias Brandon. Indicted for racetrack swindle, suspended sentence. Indicted as suspect in fur theft, probation, and some more.
I couldn't have hidden it if I wanted to.
Well, the important thing is you didn't want to. Now, will you tell your story?
Well, Doc Wayland got the idea to promote this benefit for disabled people. He called me in on the deal, and I went for it.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy was hired by the doc, and the doc gave him a song and dance about useful work and what a great project it was. Make the people aware of the ableness of the disabled.
And I went for it, hook, line, and sinker.
No reason you shouldn't, Mr. Dover. It's a great idea.
I'm keeping that in mind. Go ahead, Miss Brent.
Well, with Jimmy to go around with them and soften them up, the doc promoted half the big names in Hollywood. They'd... Well...
Say it, Vicky. They'd take one look at me and drown in their own pity.
I'm sorry, Jimmy.
And now we're supposed to pull the same stunt with the Broadway and radio stars, only I'm not supposed to know that's what it is.
We'll come back to that, Jimmy. Go on, Miss Brent.
The doc set up a phony outfit, the Institute for the Disabled, chartered in some state out west.
Yes, with himself as the sole trustee for the Institute. Yes, we've checked that.
That's right. He was going to send a check for the proceeds of the benefit to the Institute, all right, and be there himself to receive it.
He expected to get away with something that raw?
No, Mr. Peters, but he expected to be out of the country by the time it was found out.
Well, how far has the organization gone?
All the way. Tickets, advertising. He's even got a Coliseum Hall lined up. Now he just wants to line up some more names.
I notice he's scaled the prices on the tickets from $10 up to $1,000. He's no piker.
Well, anything else, Miss Brent?
No, that's it. I'm glad it's finished.
Yeah, and I guess I'm kind of sorry.
What?
Well, at least somebody was interested in guys like me. Finding out that disabled guys can do lots of jobs as well as they did before they were cracked up.
Jimmy, don't say that.
You know, it's funny. The only guy interested was a crook. And now he won't be around.
Jimmy, I think he may be. For a little while.
What?
I don't get it, Mr. Harder.
When we make an arrest, it's for the good of society. But I'm not sure this case is as simple as that.
Why, I don't understand, Mr. Hardy.
Well, I may be sticking my neck out. But if we plan the how and when of Dr. Wayland's arrest, we'd be doing a lot more for society than we would by picking him up right now.
How's that, Mr. Hardy?
I've got an idea that might work if Jimmy and Vicky will cooperate.
Oh, anything you say, Mr. Hardy.
There'll be some risk.
Vicky?
I've gone along with you this far, Jimmy. I'll go all the way.
Good. Now make yourselves comfortable. I'll tell you my plan.
Gee, what a crowd, Jimmy. I never figured they'd turn out like this. The Coliseum's jammed.
Yeah, but I'm wondering where's Dr. Wayland?
He'll be here. You stop worrying.
Well, Mr. Harding's been swell about this. I'd hate for him to get in a jam. So you don't think Doc Wayland's wise, do you?
Jimmy, you don't think I tipped him?
Oh, no. No, Vicky. I know you couldn't. What I think about you, well, a guy like me shouldn't.
Jimmy?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know I couldn't cross you out? Tell me.
Oh, Vicky, Oh, there's Doc Whalen. I guess he just came in.
You're looking so happy.
Hello, Jimmy and Vicky. Splendid crowd. Splendid.
Where were you, Doctor? We were getting worried.
Just checking up at the box office, Jimmy. Don't you think it's time Gary Marlowe started the program?
Yeah, sure, Doc. I'll tell him.
He's right over there.
Say, Mr. Marlowe.
Oh, yes, Jimmy? You want me to begin?
Yeah, right away. Oh, and, Mr. Marlowe, don't forget that first guest. He'll be kind of a surprise for everybody.
How could I forget him? Well, here I go.
Good luck, Mr. Marlowe.
Going to start, Jimmy?
Yeah, right away, Dr. Whalen. Let's sit here close and enjoy the show. Huh?
I intend to. We put a lot of work in it.
We've all put a lot of work in it, Doc.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Before we begin the show, there's a special guest I'd like to introduce right now, as he has to leave shortly on urgent business. In fact, this gentleman is always on urgent business. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to present the Chief of the United States Counterspies, Mr. David Harding.
Harding. Jimmy, how did this happen?
Special guest, Dr. Whalen. I thought it was great we could get him. He doesn't make many public appearances.
Oh, yes. Great.
Thank you, Mr. Marlowe. Later on, I want to ask you about a trade secret. In those Western films of yours, how do you get 50 to 100 shots out of one 6-shooter revolver? The counterspies could use a trick like that. But seriously, ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to be here. For the purpose of this benefit is of major importance to America. It's wonderful that more and more of us realize that the disabled can take their places as useful citizens. This occasion is to see that they get their chance, not as a charity, but as a right. And now, will the organizers of this great event come over here? Both of you. Dr. Hobart Whalen.
Thank you, Mr. Harding.
And Jimmy Dover. Now, I have a surprise for the audience. An actual arrest here on the platform. Ladies and gentlemen, splendid as this affair is, it has one black mark. It was organized by a confidence man. A swindler. A crook. This man here, Dr. Hobart Whalen. Jimmy, I want you to arrest him. I'm getting out. Oh, no, you're not, Doc. This crutch is good for something besides breathing. Okay, Mr. Harding, I'd arrest him. Pretty good for a supposedly disabled man, wasn't it? Now, while my assistant Harry Peters helps Mr. Dover remove the prisoner, I'll tell you, the audience, why we did not cancel this benefit weeks ago, even though we knew the promoter was a crook. We didn't stop it because the cause is close to our hearts. The counterspies employ many so-called disabled men and women. They hold key positions in our code division, communications, and others. So we allowed this benefit to go on. And you may rest assured that at the suggestion of the President's Committee on National Employ the Physically Handicapped Week, your money will go to a legitimate organization interested in this problem. And now, here is Gary Marlowe with the rest of the show.
Golly, Mr. Harding, that was wonderful, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
How's Whalen? He's unhappy, Dave. Two of our agents are taking him down to our field office to be booked.
Well, then that winds up things, Jimmy.
Except for me, Mr. Harding.
Yeah.
What about Vicky, Mr. Hardy?
Well, she'll have to testify against the doctor, of course.
What will that
That
mean?
means jail as a material witness.
Jail.
Of course, if someone would accept responsibility, Vicky could be paroled in his custody.
Oh, I'll do that, Mr. Hardy.
But, Jimmy, you don't...
Oh, Vicky, we've stuck together this long. I can stand it a little longer. You can. Okay, Mr. Hardy?
Okay, Jimmy. In fact, from the sound of things, I'd say very okay. And by the way, when you find time, get in touch with me about becoming a regular counterspy. Will you, Jimmy? Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to present the following message, especially prepared for this Counterspy broadcast, by the Honorable Alban W. Barkley, Vice President of the United States.
Today's disabled veterans and handicapped workers have the full support of the United States government in their quest for suitable employment opportunities. The President of the United States has established a special civilian committee to lend assistance in discharging this national responsibility of providing work for qualified handicapped men and women. The response by businessmen, industrialists, and labor officials has been highly gratifying, but we must intensify our efforts so that a war wound or an industrial accident is not a one-way ticket to the sidelines. I ask your continued interest in those handicapped workers presently employed and added opportunities for those seeking work. I urge all Americans to remember that ability is much more important than disability.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President. Next week's Counterspy case deals with the teenage terrors who worshipped a heel. The stolen loot that was paid for with a wet handkerchief and hard cash. And the underworld mobster who pulled a switch and continued to be a right guy. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday
to the case of the Flatbush Fagin on Counterspy. And remember, when your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glassful, but two. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York, was directed by William M. Sweet, dramatized by Palmer Thompson, and featured Don Maclaughlin and Mandel Kramer, with music by Jesse Crawford. Counterspy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi ice cold tonight.
"76 years ago, September 8th, 1949. Counterspy here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We move over from ABC to Mutual for an episode of The Mysterious Traveler.
Mr. Lamb, need help packing those boxes?
Yeah, almost done, Katie.
That was some retirement party. You got big plans?
Yep. Now that we're 65, the wife and I get extra $1,000 exemptions. We may qualify for the credit for the elderly, and we may sell our house. See, there's a tax break on the sale of a home when you're 55 or older.
Guess it pays to be old.
Who's old? Use the order form in your tax package to get free IRS publication 554, Tax Benefits for Older Americans. Message from the IRS.
Ah, yes, the good old days we had to do all that stuff by hand. Let's go now to Mutual for an episode of The Mysterious Traveler. This is from 79 years ago, September 8th, 1946. And this is the episode entitled The Symphony of Death.
The Mysterious Traveler.
This is the mysterious traveler, inviting you to join me on another journey into the realm of the strange and terrifying. I hope you will enjoy the trip, that it will thrill you a little and chill you a little. So settle back and get a good grip on your nerves, if you can. Where are we going? We're going to call on Edward Farrington and his 3 sisters, a little family of 4 who love each other devotedly, and whose story I call The Symphony of Death. Edward Farrington and his sisters live by themselves in a large, gloomy old house on the outskirts of Boston. It is evening, and Edward is on his way home when his attention is attracted by a small establishment which is advertising a closeout sale. An economical and foresighted man, Edward stops his car and enters the dimly lighted shop.
Good evening, sir. May I serve you? I'm not sure. I saw your sign, and it occurred to me that by purchasing now something I'm sure to need sooner or later, I might save a substantial sum. You are very foresighted, sir. Now, here is a design I can recommend unreservedly. A simple white column, yet cut from the finest Carrara marble. I see. The angel on top is of a single piece with a shaft. It can never be dislodged or separated. In every inch, in every line, it expresses dignified grief. Yes, I agree with you, but I'm afraid it's too expensive. What are these stones here in the corner? These? They are our simplest design. Polished granite cubes with just enough room for the name and the date. They are excellent memorials, but I am sure in the long run you will get greater satisfaction from something more appealing to the eye. No, I think these will do excellently. Yes, they're just what I had in mind. I'm particularly pleased by the fact that they're all alike. I see. You wish all 4 of them, then? No, not 4, just 3. 3 will quite prepare me for all eventualities. Will you be able to store them for me until they're needed? Yes, we can store them at our main warehouse, if you wish. Excellent. I suppose I might as well give you the inscriptions to be carved on them while I'm here. You can leave room for the dates to be added. Of course, sir. Then if you'll just take this down. In loving memory of Florence, sister of Edward Farrington. Yes, sir. In loving memory of Martha, sister of Edward Farrington. In loving memory of Emily, sister of Edward Farrington.
Edward, is that you?
Yes, Emily.
Oh, you're all wet.
Yes, it's beginning to rain.
Let me help you with your coat, Edward. I'll hang it up for you.
Now, Emily, please don't fuss over me this way. It makes me nervous to be pawed at.
But I just want to help you with your coat.
I can hang it up by myself.
Emily, is that Edward? Oh, Edward, you're late. We were worried about you.
I'm here, and I'm perfectly all right, Florence, as you can see. Now, is dinner ready?
Oh, yes, Edward. Martha has everything ready. Martha, Edward's home. What? Oh, it's you, Edward. We were worried about you.
Martha, I've told you not to worry if I'm a few minutes late.
Well, I suppose we just can't help it, Edward. Now we'll eat. And perhaps after dinner you will play the piano for us. Oh, will you, Edward? Please say yes. Please, Edward.
Well, we'll see. I really should work on my symphony tonight, but perhaps I can play for a few minutes after dinner. And so, after dinner, Edward played for his sisters on the great piano in the library. Emily and Florence crowded close to him as he played, and Martha, busy with her knitting, sat and watched them with fond gaze.
Oh, that was lovely, Edward. Please play some more. Yes, something we can sing.
Well, all right, just one more, and that's all. Emily, it's just thunder. You mustn't jump like that. It can't hurt you.
I know, but I can't help it. I like thunderstorms. I like to watch the lightning.
I think that's enough for tonight. Now off to bed, both of you.
All right. Good night, Edward. Good night, Edward.
Good night, Emily, Florence.
Well, I suppose I might as well go to bed myself.
No, Martha, don't go yet. I want to talk to you.
To me?
Yes.
What about Edward?
How old are you?
How old? I'm 35. Oh, no. Why be silly about it? I'm 37.
You ought to get married. You still could, and you owe it to yourself.
I shall never marry Edward. I promised Father that I'd look after things and keep the four of us together as long as we live. And I will.
As long as we live. But perhaps we'd be better off if we weren't together.
You can't mean that.
But I do. I need solitude in which to finish my book and my symphony. It's very distracting, you know, to have the three of you constantly hovering about me.
You're just feeling blue tonight. You wouldn't be happy without us any more than we would be without you. No, we'll all be together, the four of us, as long as we all live. Well, now I'm going to bed. Good night, Edward, dear.
Good night, Martha. We'll all be together, the four of us, as long as we live. As long as we all live.
In the morning, it was still raining. After breakfast, Edward shut himself in the library to continue work on his symphony.
Doesn't Edward play well, Emily? Edward's a wonderful player. Let's listen a minute before we go upstairs. Do you think he'd really mind if we went in? If we just sat very quiet? I don't think so. We'll be very quiet.
Who's there? Oh, it's you two.
We're sorry, Edward. We didn't mean to disturb you. We'll go right away.
No, you don't have to go.
You mean we can stay, Edward?
For a minute. I'm going to stop for a smoke.
I'll bring you the cigarette. Oh, the cigar box is empty.
Empty? Why, I was positive I had plenty of cigarettes. That's why I didn't buy any yesterday.
You did have a lot yesterday. I saw them.
Well, they're gone now. And I suppose I'll have to drive down the hill to the drugstore and get some more. And that will mean I'll get nothing done this morning. Nothing whatever. I wish I had someone I could send for them.
Edward, let me go for you.
In this rain? Why, you'd get soaking wet, Florence.
Well, I could take the car.
Take the car in weather like this?
But I'm a good driver, Edward. You once said so yourself. And I have a driver's license. You know I have. You helped me get it.
Yes, that's true.
Well, I'd be very careful, Edward.
Well, you must promise to drive very slowly down the hill to town.
Oh, I will, Edward.
All right, then, Florence. Here's the key to the car. The old car, of course. Now be very careful.
Oh, I will. I promise I will. May I stay and listen until Florence comes back?
Well, I suppose so, seeing you're here already.
You don't like us to be around, do you? Sometimes I think you don't like us at all anymore.
Oh, that's nonsense. It's just that I'm trying to get a great piece of music written, and you keep disturbing me.
Oh, there goes Florence in the car now. She's going fast. Florence likes to go fast, and then step on the brakes.
She promised to be careful.
I know, but she forgets.
Well, I'm sure she'll be all right. Now I must get to work.
You a jacket.
Well, I'm perfectly comfortable, Martha. I don't need a jacket.
You mustn't take chances. Here, put it on.
Oh, all right.
Emily, where's Florence? Is she up there?
Oh, no. She's gone to get Edward some cigarettes.
Gone out? In this rain?
Edward let her take the car.
Edward, you didn't.
Martha, please don't get excited. She can drive, and she promised to be careful.
But you promised never to let her drive alone. You know how she drives unless someone's with her.
Really, she's a better driver than you think. There's nothing to be alarmed about. She'll be back any minute, and then...
I'll answer it.
No, it's probably for me. I'll answer it. Hello? Yes, this is Mr. Farrington. The police?
Edward, what is it?
Hush, Martha. What about my sister? She did what? All right. Yes, of course. I'll be right down.
Edward, what is it? What's happened to Florence?
Martha, we must all be very calm. Florence has had a terrible accident.
No.
The brakes of the car apparently gave way at the bottom of the hill. Florence ran off the curb and crashed into the rocks there. She was killed instantly.
The official investigation into poor Florence's death established only the fact that the brakes had failed. But the brakes had only been checked the day before, as Edward proved to the police. Accordingly, they ascribed death to an unfortunate mechanical failure and closed the case. Edward, however, could not dismiss it from his mind so easily.
Edward, you can't go on like this day after day, brooding about poor Florence's death.
Oh, my dear, I blame myself for it if I hadn't let her take the car.
I know, Edward. Why don't you try to work on your symphony? It'll help take your mind off Florence.
No, I can't possibly do any work on that yet for a while. No, but I have another notion. I think I'd like to write our family history.
Our family history?
Yes, and it seems to me that once in Mother's old trunk in the attic, I saw a lot of letters that were written to her by relatives. Are they still there?
Why, yes, they are.
I'd like to look them over. They might help me get started on my history. Will you show me where they are, Martha?
Why, yes, of course. We'll go up to the attic, and I'll get them out for you right after lunch. Here are the letters, Edward. Mother wrote a lot of letters those last few years, after the doctor said she must never leave the house.
Yes, I remember. How quiet and dark it is up here in the attic. We used to play hide-and-go-seek here, the four of us.
Yes. Until Mother died.
I've often wondered about that. She fell from one of these attic windows, I remember. She was leaning out, looking at the river, and she slipped.
Yes. It was that window there. The one looking down into the courtyard.
I'd like to look at it. Oh, the catch is stuck. Will you help me open it, Martha?
Well, all right.
There. It's almost 50 feet down to the courtyard. She was killed instantly, wasn't she?
Yes. But let's close it now.
In a moment. Martha, did Mother really slip and fall, or did she throw herself out?
What makes you ask that?
I was only 8 at the time, but it seems to me Mother was wandering badly in her mind there at the end. And then I recollect hearing Father say something about an asylum to Uncle George.
Edward, you mustn't say that ever again. It would terrify Emily.
But it's true, isn't it?
Yes, it's true. Poor Mother.
It's strange you calling her Mother because she wasn't really your mother.
No, but I always think of her as Mother. I was only 2 when Father married her.
Poor creature. Let's believe that she slipped. It would be easy to slip from this window, wouldn't it?
Well, the sill isn't very low.
Yes, but lean out a little farther and see how easy it would be. No, a little farther. You see how overbalanced one becomes?
Yes, you're right. Now, help me back, Edward.
Of course. Martha, catch yourself. Martha!
Poor Martha's tragic death, coming so soon after Florence's, was a great shock to Emily and Edward. But Edward recovered from the tragedy somehow after a few weeks, and as though determined not to let it upset him, spent many hours a day at his beloved piano, working on his projected masterpiece.
that was wonderful. You played just like you used to. Before Florence and Martha died.
Yes, I'm getting my old touch back.
You don't mind my coming in to listen, do you?
Not today, but Emily, you have been disturbing me these last few weeks. Must you follow me around all the time?
But, Edward, you know how much I like to be near you. And now that Florence and Martha are gone, I haven't anyone else to talk to.
Yes, I know that, but I can't get any work done unless I'm left in peace.
I won't bother you anymore, I promise. You know, I do miss Florence and Martha.
Of course you do.
But just the same, it's been awfully nice having you all to myself since they went.
I'm afraid it's very lonely for you.
Oh, no, it isn't. I like it.
Yes, but I think we'll have to get a housekeeper. She'd be company for you, and she'd look after things. In fact, I'm going into town to interview a housekeeper today, a Mrs. McDonald. You'd like to go with me, wouldn't you?
Oh, yes, Edward.
We'll take the car and have a nice drive at the same time.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Now, how would you like to go out and get the car started for me?
Get the car started.
Yes, I have to tend to a few things before we go, and the motor needs to warm up. It's not working very well.
Oh, Edward, do you think I could start it?
Of course you could. Just turn on the switch and step on the starter, and then let it run until it's good and warm.
All right, Edward. May I have the key?
Yes. Here you are. Now, this is the ignition key.
Mm-hmm.
And use the little side door to get in. I'll unlock the big doors when I come out.
I can pretend I'm driving it. Will you be long?
No, just sit in the car and wait until I come.
All right, Edward.
Here I am, Emily. I took longer than I expected. I hope you haven't been sitting here with the motor running all this time. Emily! Emily!
With Emily's unfortunate death from carbon monoxide poisoning, Edward Farrington was left quite alone in the great old house. His neighbors saw little of him, though they could hear him at his piano for many hours each day. They knew, however, that a week after Emily's funeral, he hired a housekeeper, Mrs. McDonald, to take charge of the house for him.
Now, Mrs. McDonald, this is your first day, and before you start, I'd like to explain a few things to you.
Of course, Mr. Farrington.
As you know, I've suffered the tragic loss of all my sisters in the past few months.
Oh, yes, sir. A great sorrow it must have been. But they do say tragedies come in threes.
Indeed, they seem to. But I'm sure I'll be quite comfortable now with you to look after me.
I surely hope so, sir.
I'm certain of it. Now, I'm a rather moody man, and I'm working upon some music for which I have great hopes.
Yes, sir.
Above all else, I wish to be left alone. I do not want to be disturbed. Is that understood?
Quite, Mr. Farrington.
You may call me at mealtimes. At all other times, I prefer that you do not even enter this part of the house.
I understand.
Good. That's all, I think. Just put up with my little oddities, and we'll get along very well.
Yes, sir. Then I'll see about the ordering for dinner now, sir, if you'll excuse me.
Now, let me see. The second movement needs touching up, so perhaps I'd better... What is it, Mrs. McDonald? I thought I said I was never to be disturbed.
I'm very sorry, sir, but there's a gentleman come to see you. It's Detective Barnes, sir, from the police.
From the police? Am I to be bothered with more stupid questions? Well, show him in. I suppose I must see him.
Yes, sir. Will you go in, sir?
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Farrington. You remember me, I think.
Yes, Mr. Barnes, I remember you. In view of the number of ridiculous and unnecessary questions you asked me after the deaths of my poor sisters, I have good reason to remember you.
I've come to ask you more questions, Mr. Farrington. Tell me, did your sister Emily have a driver's license?
I really don't know, and I don't care.
You should care. Listen to me. First, your sister Florence died in an auto accident when brakes that had just been inspected failed to work.
Even modern automobiles aren't proof against mechanical failure.
Then Martha died in a fall from an attic window. Her body landed in the courtyard a full 6 feet from the wall of the
Well,
house.
what of that?
It was much too far away for her to strike, unless she leaped or was pushed. And you have said she didn't leap.
I repeated she did not leap, she fell.
Perhaps. Now we come to Emily. She died of carbon monoxide poisoning in a closed garage.
Well?
You have said it happened because she went to get the car out to drive you downtown. That was your statement under oath.
And a perfectly accurate statement.
But I have just learned from the neighbors that Emily didn't know how to drive a car.
Well, of course she could.
Furthermore, they say her mental condition was such she could never learn to drive.
Well, perfectly absurd.
Did she have a driver's license?
I repeat, I do not know.
Because if she didn't, your statement is false. And if any part of your statement proves false, Mr. Farrington, I trust I make my meaning clear.
Mr. Barnes, you can't show one jot of evidence to back up your ridiculous suspicions. Any court in the land would laugh at you for them.
I can show no direct evidence. But there is such a thing as circumstantial evidence.
You haven't even any circumstantial evidence.
I have a world of it. The brakes on your car failed, and you are an amateur mechanic.
Well?
Martha's body falling so far from the building that she must have been pushed.
Mere conjecture.
Finally, Emily dying in a car she couldn't drive. Though you have said she was going to drive you downtown.
And she was. You've done nothing but build a tissue of fantastic suspicions.
A jury will take them more seriously, especially when they learn that just before the first death, you bought 3 tombstones, 1 for each of your sisters. That shows what you were planning.
It shows nothing. It was a sale. I was merely being foresighted.
Then, Mr. Farrington, why didn't you buy 4 stones? 1 for each of you.
I refuse to discuss the point. There was no reason for me to kill my sisters.
No normal reason, perhaps. Though now that you are alone, you are living very comfortably on the income from your father's estate.
Indeed.
Furthermore, Mr. Farrington, I have checked on your family history. I know the truth about your unfortunate mother.
Well?
The fact concerning her might cause the jury to look differently upon you. It might influence the jury to bring in a verdict of murder while of unsound mind.
Get out. Get out of this house, do you hear? You can prove nothing. Nothing whatsoever.
All right, Mr. Farrington. I'm going. But I'll be back.
No, wait. I'm ill. Help me.
Here, sit here. That's it.
It's my heart. There's medicine in my desk drawer. There. A small bottle.
In the desk here?
Yes.
Here's the blue bottle. Is this it?
Yes. Hurry. There's water in the thermos jug.
Yes, I have it. Here's the water and a pill. Swallow it.
Yes. Thank you. That's better. The pain is going away.
Then, Mr. Farrington, I'll be on my way. I warn you, I'm going to check as to whether Emily had a driver's license. Today is Sunday, so it may take me a few hours. But if I find she had no license, I'm going to return with a warrant for your arrest.
No, there's no need for that. Of course, the poor simpleton had no driver's license. I should have thought of that. I should have thought of that.
Then you admit you killed her?
Certainly I did. Why shouldn't I? She annoyed me. Me, a genius.
I'm afraid a jury won't care whether you're a genius or not, Mr. Farrington.
Do you suppose I care what a jury thinks? A genius is not answerable to the laws that bind other people.
The law does not agree with you.
The law? What do I care for the law? You think you've trapped me, don't you? But you haven't. You hear? You haven't.
I think I have, Mr. Farrington.
You fool. No one is going to put Edward Farrington in an asylum. No one. In a minute, I'll be beyond your reach.
What do you mean?
I mean that tablet you so obligingly got for me is a deadly poison. Poison that I bought months ago. You and your circumstantial evidence. You're never going to get a chance to use... Never get a chance to blacken my name. But Detective Barnes...
Yes? What is it?
Promise me one thing. Promise me you won't let them bury me with my sisters.
This is the mysterious traveler again. Did you enjoy our little visit with Edward Farrington and his 3 loving sisters? You know, perhaps Edward made a mistake after all when he didn't buy a fourth tombstone. By the way, do you live in a gloomy old house with three sisters who love you so much you can't bear to have them near you? Well, if you do, I'd advise you not to be too drastic with them. You might find yourself buried right beside them, as Edward was. I know another man who... Oh, you're getting off here. Well, I'm sorry. But I'm sure we'll meet again. I take this same train every week at this same time.
You've just heard The Mysterious Traveler, a series of dramas of the strange and terrifying. But before we tell you of next week's exciting story, here is Maurice Tarpaulin, the mysterious traveler himself, with a brief but vital message from your government.
You all know that the stories we tell on this program are just stories, designed to entertain you, but not to be taken too seriously. Well, what I have to say now, however, is not a story, and is deadly serious. All over the world, people are starving. The United States and other food-producing nations are fighting a battle against famine. To win, food stocks must be conserved. You can help conserve them by canning and preserving food for your own use. If you have a victory garden, put up as much as possible from it. When your local markets feature an abundance of fruits or vegetables suitable for home preservation, can or preserve a winter's supply and release that much commercially canned food for the starving. Conserve your sugar for canning purposes. Follow the wartime rule of 1 pound of sugar to 4 quarts of finished fruit. And be sure to use only safe, tested methods. If you want information on any phase of home food preservation, write to the United States Department of Agriculture, Washington 25, D.C.
Thank you, Maurice Tarpaulin. In addition to Maurice Tarpaulin, today's cast included Eric Dressler, Hester Sondergaard, Ann Tiemann, Inga Adams, and Martin Wilson. Original music was played by Doc Whipple. The Mysterious Traveler is written and directed by Bob Arthur and David Kogan. Listen next week over most of these mutual stations to a tale titled
As I Lie Dying.
Another tale of the Mysterious Traveler. The Mysterious Traveler is presented by the Mutual Network from our New York studios. Russ Dunbar speaking. Stay tuned to this station for another exciting crime drama, True Detective Mysteries, which immediately follows station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
79 years ago, September 8, 1946, The Mysterious Traveler on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. On tomorrow's program, Ozzie and Harriet from 1945. David has a fight with a boy. Also, Salute to the Farmer by Milton Berle. The Rudy Valley Dream Show from 1944 with guest Ingrid Bergman. And My Favorite Husband starring Lucille Ball and Richard Denning. And there's gossip going around. On Wednesday, we'll have The Adventures of Philip Marlowe starring Gerald Moore and the Ruston Hickory. Also, Dragnet, Jack Webb. Edward Arnold as Mr. President. Which one? And Boston Blackie starring Dick Calmer. On Thursday, we'll have Peter Lorre with Mystery in the Air. The ABC Workshop production of The Martian Chronicles from 1953. Four-Star Playhouse from 1949. Rosalind Russell starring in Paradise, USA. And Romance, an episode starring Humphrey Bogart entitled Conflict from 1945. Friday's show, we get to Variety with the Chase and Sanborn Hour, Edgar Bergen, Charlie McCarthy, Don Amici, and Betty Davis. A quiz show from 1938, True or False. Breakfast in Hollywood starring Tom Brenneman from 1946. Saturday, we get more drama with Counterspy, an episode of Tarzan, Confession, and Quiet Please. And next Sunday, we will have a mix with comedy with Jack Benny, his first show with Bob Crosby as the band leader from 1952. George and Gracie and Brian Donlevy from 1943. The Great Gildersleeve from 1941. Leroy Gets a Paper Route. and a CBS Radio Workshop delightful production, A Pride of Carrots, or Venus Well Served. A mixed bag on Monday. We'll have a couple of shows from 1957. Stan Freeberg's Hi-Fi Lecture from 1957. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, Bob Bailey, and the JPD Matter. Arthur Godfrey Show from 1947. And science fiction with X-1, the story of the Castaways. And it has to do with an atomic bomb. That's all coming up a week from today on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. More information anytime at classicradio.stream. Up next, Suspense.
Hi, this is Mason Adams for the IRS. In case you didn't know it, there are some important income tax credits that you may be eligible for. There's the Earned Income Credit, Child and Dependent Care Credit, Credit for the Elderly, Political Contributions Credit, Residential Energy Credit, and what's more, you don't even have to itemize to claim these credits. It may pay you to look into this. Use the handy order form in your tax package for free IRS publications on tax credits. A message from the IRS.
Probably Mason Adams' best-known TV show was Lou Grant, but he did a lot of radio, including A Miracle at Christmas from Grand Central Station, which we do every year here on our Christmas show. Okay, radio's outstanding theater of thrill suspense, the screen star Victor Jory in this episode from 68 years ago, September 8, 1957, The Old Army Buddy.
Suspense. And the producer of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, the master of mystery and adventure, William N. Robeson.
Suspense need not always be a matter of murder. There can be romance in the suspense of whether boy gets girl, and there can be fun in the suspense of how on earth can girl get rid of boy. There's a little of each in the upcoming story. There's murder, too, if you agree that the emotional starvation of a wife can lead to the murder of a marriage. There's the boy gets girl angle, but which boy, you will never guess until the end. And there is, we feel, a lot of good, clean, bloodless fun. Listen then as Victor Jory stars in Old Army Buddy, which begins in exactly 1 minute.
Someone once said, too many cooks spoil the broth. And that axiom can be applied to every factor which motivates our lives, such as our homes, our jobs, and even the Constitution which governs us. When the Constitution was drawn up, it was agreed that the power of government was not to be vested in just one person or one group of individuals, but was to be proportioned so that each section of our government would have its specific duties without infringing on the duties of the others. Accordingly, the Constitution provides for 3 different branches: the legislative or Congress, which makes and controls our laws, the judicial or Supreme Court, which interprets the laws, and the executive, which gives to the president a position similar to the captain of a ship, that of guiding the country through safe channels. Thus, we are ensured of a smoothly running democratic way of life. That's how your American Constitution works.
And now, Old Army Buddy, starring Mr. Victor Jory. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. Funny thing how long it takes people to spot a phony. I'll give you an example. Frederick Carlton Haskell, foreign correspondent, author, newscaster, and lion of the lecture halls. You read his dispatches from New York.
Prime Minister assured me today during a 2-hour chat at the Foreign Office that no further concessions could be expected until the present attitude of the pressure powers has been
You've heard his
reviewed.
pear-shaped tones on your radio.
I do not think it is too much to expect that the campaign will result in some astounding and radical changes by the time the final tally is made next November.
Have you any idea what he's saying? But then what difference does it make? When Frederick Carlton Haskell carelessly tosses his British trench coat over his Harris tweeds, he's America's ideal of the perfect foreign correspondent. Middle-aged ladies mob him at Middle Western lectures, and book clubs plead for the privilege of publishing his pronouncements. Yes, he cuts quite a figure in public, does Frederick Carlton Haskell. In private, well, that's another matter. Those of us who, for one reason or another, have been close to him for enough years have seen through him for a long, long time. I, for one, and his lovely wife, Anne, for another.
In the Shadow of the Kremlin by Frederick Carlton Haskell. Dedication. To my wife, without whose steadfast devotion, inspiring confidence and daily concern, these pages could not have been written. Preface.
Fred.
At the outset, I wish to make it clear that during
Fred, I want to talk to you.
Later, Anne, I've just started to dictate my new book.
Fred, what I've got to say is more important than the new book.
Nothing is more important, Anne. For the man best qualified to bring you a complete and unbiased report of the conditions today in the shadow of the Kremlin.
What took so long, Fred? We spent only 6 days in Paris, for in the shadow of the Eiffel Tower. In the shadow of Big Ben took only 3 days in London.
Well, the Soviet picture is vastly more complicated. I had to give it at least 10 days.
When did your plane get in?
4:30 this morning. Miserable trip, headwinds all the way, made all the stops. Shannon, Iceland, Gander.
Why didn't you let me know when you got home?
No sense of waking you up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and anyway, I wanted to get started on this piece while the impressions were still fresh in my mind. I've got a deadline to meet, you know.
Well, I know.
Have to keep going, you know. Stand still and you start going backwards.
Well, you've got to stand still for this, Fred. I want a divorce.
You want... you must be kidding.
No, Fred. I've been thinking about it for a long time. And while you were away this last trip, I made up my mind. I just want out.
But why? You've got everything a woman could ask for. You're young and beautiful, the wife of a famous man. Why, you're the envy of every woman in America. What more do you want?
A divorce.
Impossible.
I don't want to be ugly about it, but I will be if you force me to.
You have no grounds for a divorce.
Oh, yes, I have.
What?
Infidelity.
Absurd. I've never looked at another woman since I first met you.
Nevertheless, you're not in love with me. You're in love with someone else.
Who?
Yourself.
And that comes close to being an insult.
It's the truth.
In your opinion. Certainly no judge would concur. No, Anne, it's out of the question. I will not disillusion the American people. They believe in me, and so they believe in you and in our marriage. In a way, we are a symbol...
Oh, rubbish.
Why do you always have to create some kind of unpleasantness just when I'm in the middle of a job that requires all of my faculties? It's most inconsiderate, Anne. Really inconsiderate.
I'm sorry if it's inconvenient, inconsiderate, and unpleasant. But I want a divorce.
Anne, you're trying my patience. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really must get on with the book. I'm facing a deadline, you know.
Too bad you refuse to face facts.
Had the reader been so fortunate as to stand in the shoes of this reporter on the Red Square 2 weeks ago, he would have realized the tremendous forces which have been unleashed.
The second act of Suspense continues in 1 minute.
You know, it wasn't much more than 100 years ago that the fastest anyone could travel was at the speed of a running horse. But today we're seriously talking about going to the moon at 25,000 miles per hour. And during the same 100 years or so, we've grown from the first crude telegraph to television. Now, this increased speed in transportation and communication has changed almost everything in our world, including the cabinet of the United States. For example, up to World War II, there wasn't any reason why the War and Navy Department shouldn't be directly responsible to the President. But today we find we need unified commands and more closely knit integration of military activities. So our Department of Defense was born, creating a new cabinet post to coordinate and execute the overall general policies relating to the armed forces, and the Secretary of Defense became the representative to the President for the Secretary of the Army, the Secretary of the Navy, and the Secretary of the Air Force.
And now, we continue with Act 2 of Old Army Buddy, starring Victor Jory. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
I learned of this newest development in the career of Frederick Carlton Haskell the same afternoon in the tap room of the Press Club. The usual regulars were at the bar. The conversation was pleasant, aimless, mostly shop talk. And then the great man made his entrance like Prince Philip inspecting a cattle show.
Well, boys, it certainly is good to be back home again. No matter what they say, there's no country like the good old USA.
You been away?
That's right. Moscow this time, and boys, I'm here to tell you the...
So what else is new?
Well, If you don't want to hear what is interesting.
Conversation began again, and the great Frederick Carlton Haskell stood there with egg on his face, and the backs of his colleagues turned toward him. Then he saw me.
Jerry, my old Army buddy, am I glad to see you.
Oh, hello, Fred. You been to Moscow, huh?
Affirmative. Just got in this morning, and I've already finished 2 chapters of the book.
You don't waste any time, do you?
Can't afford to. Got to keep going. Can't stop.
Yeah, I know. Stand still, you start going backward.
Yeah, that's about the size of it. Jerry, tell me something. What's the matter with those guys? Don't they want to know what's going on in the world?
Jealous, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose that's it.
Contemptuous would have been a better word. There wasn't a man at the bar whose toes hadn't been trampled by Frederick Carlton Haskell as he shouldered his way to the head of the line, including me. I had every bit as much reason as the others for hating Haskell's guts. But I also had a much bigger reason for being his old Army buddy.
Now, you are my friend, aren't you, Jerry?
I hope so.
Well, something's come up, and I feel you're the only one I can discuss it with.
I'm flattered.
Let's go at that table in the corner.
Oh, okay.
Well, I wouldn't want any of those big ears at the bar to hear this one.
No. All right, Fred, what's in your mind?
Jerry, I'm worried about Ann.
Why? She sick?
I'm afraid so, Jerry. Very sick. Mentally sick.
What makes you think so?
She wants to divorce me.
Oh, no. Why?
I ask you. Why? Haven't I given her everything? Clothes, furs, jewelry, a beautiful apartment.
You certainly have, pal.
I wouldn't have to be crazy to want to throw these things over.
Well, it depends on who she's throwing them over for, though.
What do you mean?
Who's the other man?
There's no other man.
How do you know? Did you ask her?
No, it never occurred to me. But how could she possibly be interested in any other man?
I don't know. Women sometimes do the darndest thing. Hey, let me ask you something, Fred.
What?
Do you love Ann?
What's that got to do with it?
Do you ever love her?
Oh, look, old Army buddy, let's not confuse the issue. The trouble with women is they expect the honeymoon to go on forever. A man's got work to do. Hand-holding in the moonlight just doesn't buy any square-cut diamonds, you know?
Hand in the moonlight is a lot warmer.
What do you mean?
Never mind. What are you going to do about this?
I'm going to take her to the best psychiatrist in town, no matter how much it costs. The poor girl needs help.
Well, that she does.
Meantime, Jerry, not a word about this to anyone.
Of course not.
Thanks, old Army buddy. Thanks a lot.
That you, Fred?
Yes, Ann?
Will you be home for dinner?
Yes, but I'll have to work. Just have Stella bring me a tray in the study.
All right.
However, before I get back to the desk,
Yes?
I've been thinking about our conversation this morning, and I've come to some conclusions.
Yes, Fred?
I've made an appointment for you tomorrow with Dr. Zlotny.
The psychiatrist?
Best man in New York.
Oh.
What's so funny?
Oh, your conclusion. You think I'm crazy.
Well, now, hardly that. Let's just say that you're disturbed. Your sense of values is out of adjustment. I'm sure you won't require a very long analysis. But believe me, Ann, you do need help.
Fred, all I need is a divorce.
Now, you see, you just don't make any sense. Just like that, you want a divorce. Now, if there was another man, I could understand.
Oh, but there is.
There is?
Yes.
You didn't tell me?
You didn't ask me.
Who is this cad?
A man. Oh, man.
Well, we'll see if he's a man. You get him on the phone. Now, you tell him to come over here right now. Oh, no, that'll throw me behind in my schedule. Make it tomorrow. Tell him to be here tomorrow at 6.
Hello?
Hello, Jerry. This is your old Army buddy.
Well, hello, Fred.
Well, pal, you were right.
About what?
Ann, there is another man.
Who is it?
She refused to tell me. But I have ordered her to have him here tomorrow night at 6 o'clock.
You think that's wise, Fred?
Of course it's wise. When she sees the two of us together in the same room, what chance will the poor idiot have? He's probably some crew-cut Madison Avenue type, or a Hollywood actor with long eyelashes. I'm not afraid of competition, Jerry. Never was. I'll make an idiot out of the idiot.
This I'd like to see.
Well, come on over then. It's all in the family, and you're part of the family, old Army buddy.
Act 3 of Suspense follows in 1 minute.
May I pose a problem to you? Put yourself down in a town, an isolated town, say in the wilds of northern Canada or in the middle of the Brazilian jungle.
Now, in your town, you have 4 doctors. But in 2 other villages where you do business and where you have relatives, there are no doctors. And every once in a while, epidemics arise in these villages, killing off relatives you love and friends you've learned to love. What would you do about it? Would you sit idly by? Would you shrug your shoulders and say, it's their village, let them worry about it? Or would you feel that it is the responsibility of your town and your town's doctors to educate the people of the villages and to look after their health? If it were left up to you, wouldn't you do your best to form some organization that would take steps to save the people of these villages? Of course you would. It would be the only humane thing to do. That is what the World Health Organization is trying to do throughout the world. It is an agency of the United Nations, which is man's best hope for the world's health, peace, and justice.
And now, we continue with Act 3 of Old Army Buddy, starring Victor Jory. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
The following evening, I witnessed the historic meeting between the great Frederick Carlton Haskell and the man who had stolen his wife's love. Whatever Freddie was expecting, it certainly wasn't this. A tall Texan going to fat, his sparse hair plastered across his bald pate, his hands as big as hams, his face as flat as Pecos County. The letters J.E.B. were stitched in red on the sides of his expensive black cowboy boots. He flung his 10-gallon hat onto a chair, and he roared into the room like a prairie tornado, his great paw extended to Haskell.
Tolliver's the name, J. Stewart Tolliver. Most folks call me Jeb, after Jeb Stewart. Yeah, my grandpappy served with old Jeb when he whopped you Yankees at Chancellorsville. That's how I come by the name. Didn't catch yours, friend.
Frederick Carlton Haskell.
Oh, you must be Annie Pooh's husband.
I am.
Well, I gotta congratulate you, Freddie. That's quite a little lady you have there. Quite a piece of work.
Well.
And Jeb, dear, this is our friend, Mr. Davis.
Well, glad to meet you, Mr. Tolliver.
Oh, call me Jeb, son. Folks all call me Jeb. What's your handle, Mr. Davis? Jeb?
Jerry.
Oh. With a last name like Davis, the first name's gotta be Jefferson.
I'm sorry.
Well, no matter. Time folks forgot the trouble between the states. Would do if you Yankees wasn't always bringing it up. Annie Pooh sugar?
Yes, Jeb.
I'm as dry as the Rio Grande in flight time. You got something I could
you
whip
have,
up?
darling.
Say, how about just a little drinking whiskey and branch water?
Jerry?
I'll have scotch and soda.
Fred?
I don't feel like anything right now. Thank you.
Well, now, let's all set a spell and get down to business. What say? Well, I guess Annie Suggs told you I'm fixing to marry up with her as soon as she's divorced.
She told me.
Good. Then it's all settled.
Nothing's settled, Mr. Tolliver.
Oh, just call me Jeb, Freddie.
I said, Mr. Tolliver, nothing's settled.
Well, now, ain't that a crying shame? Maybe you don't understand how unhappy this little lady is, Freddie. And when little old Annie Pooh is unhappy, I'm unhappy. And when I'm unhappy, I sometimes get ornery. You wouldn't want me to get ornery, now would you, Freddie?
Are you threatening me?
Well, now, you just interpret my remarks any way you like to, son.
I see no reason.
Boys, let's keep our tempers. Jeb, darling, your drink.
Oh, thank you. You didn't put too much branch water in it, did you, Mumsy Pickle?
Just as you like it, darling.
Yeah.
Jerry?
Thanks, Ann.
Sure you won't have a drink, Fred?
No, thanks. I suddenly don't feel very well.
What's the matter, Fred?
Nausea, dear. Acute nausea. I need some fresh air now.
I'll go with you, Fred.
No need. It's me that's sick.
Think you're the only one? Come on. Go back to the club.
Well, Freddie, son, we ain't settled nothing yet, including your stomach.
Monstrous. There's no other word for it.
Want to walk, or should we take a cab?
Walk it off. Think it out.
Okay.
After all I've done for her, all I've given her, there can only be one explanation. She must be out of her mind. Mad. Stark. Raving mad.
Could be.
She should be committed to an institution.
Oh, you think that'd be going a little too far?
Why? Obviously she's taken leave of her senses.
Still, it wouldn't look too good for you, since you'd be the one who'd have to commit her.
Yes, I see what you mean.
There is another way to handle this, Victoria.
What's that?
Just give her the divorce.
And make myself a laughing stock from coast to coast?
On the contrary, make her the laughing stock.
I don't follow you.
Look, Fred, if she'd fallen for a good-looking guy younger than you, if she'd lost her head to movie actress, say, or to another newsman like Worthington Davenport.
Heaven forbid.
Exactly. Then you would be a laughingstock. But she's gone goofy over a clown, an ignoramus. When that story gets around, everybody will think she's crazy. Everybody will say that she's an ingrate, unworthy of the position you've tried to give her.
Yes, I see what you mean.
You just leave it to me, pal. I'll see that the story gets around.
Jerry, old Army buddy, you're a real friend.
It's a privilege and an honor.
Let's go back and get it over with right now.
I'm with you all the way, old Army buddy.
Why, Fred, I thought that you'd gone...
Got you, Freddie boy? Got your stomach settled yet? Now, you just take a glass of this drinking whiskey. She'll be settled for good.
She's settled for good, Mr. Tolliver.
Oh, shucks, Freddie. When you gonna start calling me Jeb? Folks all do.
Mr. Tolliver, I have decided to give Anne the divorce.
Oh, Fred, I could almost kiss you.
That won't be necessary, dear.
Now, that's the best news I heard since Yellow Rose number 3 come in the gusher. Now, you come on over here and snuggle up to Pappy, sweet me.
Please spare me the prenuptial spectacle. There are a couple of details to be gone over, and then I'll be on my way.
Where are you going?
It has occurred to me that I might effectively expand the scope of my new book by including a definitive evaluation of the Iron Curtain countries. I shall be away at least 6 weeks, during which time I assume you will be residing in Reno.
You're so thoughtful sometimes, Fred.
Naturally, under the circumstances, Anne, you wouldn't expect any alimony or property settlement.
Naturally.
Shucks, Freddie, don't you fret about money. I'm taking care of little old Annie Pooh from here on down the trail.
Well, I guess that covers everything. There's a plane out of Idlewild for Warsaw in an hour and a half. I can just make it.
But you got to pack.
I'll pick up the bag I keep at the club for emergencies. Well, goodbye, Anne.
Goodbye, Fred. And thanks.
There's nothing to thank me for. You brought this on yourself.
Now mind, Freddie, you ever get down Wakeaway, you be sure to drop in on little old Sugar Pie and me.
That's very doubtful, Mr. Tolliver. My work concerns itself only with the more civilized parts of the world. You coming, Jerry?
Not yet, Fred. I feel badly in need of a drink.
Very well. Thanks for everything, old Army buddy. And you'll follow through, won't you?
You can count on me, pal.
I'd like to leave you with this parting thought. I have witnessed the destruction of war, the internecine strife of revolution, the fall of governments, and the miscarriage of justice in a score of countries from Tierra del Fuego to Spitzbergen. But never have I seen a more tragic and irreparable error than has been committed in this room this evening.
Well, I'll be hornswoggled. I'll rope me for a longhorn maverick. Just what in the world did all them big words mean?
Oh, you were wonderful, Harry.
Oh, boy. Thanks, Jerry.
It was your greatest performance.
Well, how could I help it? Look at my audience.
Oh, come here, darling.
Oh, Jerry, at last.
I hate to change the subject, friends, but West of Rimrock goes on over Channel 14 in less than an hour, and the sponsor isn't going to like it if old Sheriff Saul is late.
Oh, I'm sorry, Harry. I forgot all about you.
That figures.
How much do I owe you?
Well, Actors' Equity doesn't cover this kind of a performance.
Well, how about $100?
Should be sufficiently over scale.
Here you are. I'd make it 1,000 if I could. It was worth it.
Oh, thanks a lot, Jerry. Well, I gotta be moseying along now, ma'am, but before I go, I want to wish you and your young feller as much happiness as old Paint and I have known together. And if you ever get down Wakeaway like I... So long, kid.
So long, Harry.
Bye. Oh, darling.
Oh, my dearest.
Darling, is there a plane for Reno tonight?
Dozens of them. So who wants to hurry? Suspense. In which Victor Jory starred in Old Army Buddy, written and produced by William N. Robeson, and based upon a story by William Keneally. Listen. Listen again next week
when we return with another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. Supporting Mr. Jory and Old Army Buddy were Ellen Morgan, Larry Thor, and Paul Freed.
An Armed Forces recording of Suspense, recently discovered by our friends at the Suspense Project. They have some amazing, they found a lot of these old shows, particularly the later shows in the 50s and 60s that were just darn near understandable, I should say. Victor Jory, of course, a fine actor, mostly a heavy in the motion pictures. He was in A Midsummer Night's Dream back in 1935. He had the lead role in the television drama Manhunt back in 1959 to 1961. Did lots of radio work. Probably his... and he also, in the movies, he was Lamont Cranston, the Shadow in the 1940 serial of that same name. He was Oberon in the adaptation of A Midsummer Night's Dream in 1935, starring James Cagney, Dick Powell, Olivia de Havilland. Co-starred in 7 Hopalong Cassidy films, a villain in most of them. The radio series Dangerously Yours, which would be called, named as Matinee Theater, and a dramatic reworking of famous literary works. And he appeared with Patrick McVeigh in, as we mentioned, Manhunt, didn't we? He was all over radio and television. In fact, you remember the TV series Mannix, which starred Mike Connors? Jory played his widowed father, a grape farmer in Summer Grove, a fictitious town in Central California. He has a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame for his motion picture contributions. He married actress Jean Innes in 1928. They had 2 children, and they were married for about 50 years. He passed away in 1982 at the age of 79. Victor Jory on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Oh, I should have mentioned he also portrayed Helen Keller's father in the 1962 motion picture The Miracle Worker. And yes, it was a critical success, moderate commercial success, and that movie co-starred Anne Bancroft as Anne Sullivan, the blind tutor, and Helen Keller. Helen Keller in that, played by Patty Duke. All right, let's roll on here. Visit our webpage at classicradio.stream to support the podcast. Up next, Wanted.
My roommate and I both file tax form 1040A.
Because we make less than $50,000 a year.
That's for sure.
We don't have to itemize. We do it ourselves.
Even if we had more than $400 in interest income or $400 in dividends, we probably could use this form.
The IRS will even compute our tax for us on the 1040A.
More time for reading, relaxing.
And laundry.
1040A. Check the instructions to see if you can use it.
Remember, the sooner you file, the less time to get your refund.
That's the part I like.
A message from the IRS.
Back in the days where the old 1040 form was unwieldy, it really was. Okay, now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an experimental show from the summer of 1950, Wanted, and the technology wasn't quite right to do this show as it should have been, and it would later be adapted and be done better than this. But let's listen to an episode of Wanted, 75 years ago, September 8th, 1950.
The National Broadcasting Company delays the start of this program to bring you a special bulletin. From the NBC newsroom in New York, it's a general offensive for the UN forces in Korea tonight, with attacks launched all along the beachhead front, from the Mason sector up to and beyond Taegu. All this while Allied landing forces forge a trap behind the Communists on the west coast at Incheon. That amphibious assault to the north is going well. Keep tuned to your NBC station for the later news. Wanted! Wanted for Jailbreak. Presented in the public interest, this is the program that brings you for the first time on the air a nationwide manhunt in action. This is the program that has led to the capture of 3 dangerous criminals. From the record, the on-the-spot reports of the actual people involved. Nothing is withheld. No one is protected. Here are the dramatic eyewitness accounts of a man wanted. Wanted for jailbreak.
And now, Wanted's on-the-spot investigator, Walter McGraw.
Good evening. Once again, you and I are going on a nationwide manhunt for a criminal who is now at large in this country. I'm going to introduce you to the actual people who can give you eyewitness accounts of this man. You'll meet not only the law enforcement officers involved, but the criminal's associates and victims. Remember, the voices you hear are those of the actual people, not actors, and they're putting themselves on the spot to give you their own stories about a man who is wanted. Tonight, we're turning Wanted spotlight on another of the top 10 fugitives of this country. This time, it's a 60-year-old, tricky, case-hardened mobster who spent better than 20 years in various penitentiaries of this country. He's a man who cares little for his own life and much, much less for yours. So listen, these are the facts.
The date, March 17th, 1947. Locale, Bakersfield, California. Fike's Grocery, located in the heart of the business district.
The voices you hear next are the actual voices of the people who, through no fault of their own, are involved in the case of FBI number 15098. First, the owner of a grocery store.
This is John Fike, owner-manager of Fike's Finer Foods, Bakersfield, California. On this night, after the customers had all left the store, 3 employees and myself were left in the building. 2 men came up from the rear of the store, looking down the aisles as they walked, as though they were trying to find some particular item. When they got within about 10 feet of the check stand, they pulled out guns. And they kept their guns low, as though they weren't very excited. They took some $800. They ordered us all to the rear of the store, where they put us into a large butter box. Then they asked me to wait for 5 minutes before we left. We waited the 5 minutes, walked out of the refrigerator, and called the police.
This is Lieutenant Albert Meir, Bakersfield Police Department. On receipt of the robbery complaint, officers were dispatched to make the investigation. They soon learned they were looking for a couple of experienced gunmen. First, the job had been well cased. Secondly, the 2 bandits were very cool. Thirdly, they took very little time, made a clean getaway. About the only evidence obtained were the descriptions of the 2 bandits. Number 1 was described as about 30 years, 5'6", slight build, and walked with a slight limp, while number 2 was described as about 50 years, 5'9", heavier build, dark wavy hair, an Indian, and one clerk suggested that he possibly may have been using makeup. The only other bit of information was a car reported seen in the neighborhood.
My name's Don Rodkey. I'm employed at Fike's Market. On the night of the robbery, I left at about 6 o'clock, went out the back of the store and down the alley. I noticed sitting at the curb a car with a man sitting in the front seat. It was a 1939 LaSalle, which caught my eye because there weren't very many made, and it was an unpopular model, especially a black sedan. I thought nothing more of it and went on home. That evening, Mr. Fike called me and told me that the store had been robbed. He asked me if I had noticed anything peculiar around the store. I told him about the car and later notified the police.
This is Detective John M. Toll of the Bakersfield Police Department. While cruising in the downtown area of the city of Bakersfield with my partner, Detective Lacey High, we observed a 1939 black LaSalle sedan occupied by 2 men driving on one of the main streets. From our notes, we had information that a car of this description had been seen in the vicinity of the robbery of Fike's Market earlier in the evening. As the car passed in front of the police vehicle, the driver kept watching the police car. We decided to follow them and check the car and its occupants. They drove into a local drive-in, and we pulled up alongside and talked to the 2 men in the car. The man in the right-hand front seat I did not know. The driver of the car I recognized as a man who had been released from the local jail a few days earlier after serving a sentence for minor theft. His name was Sam Scribner.
Sam Scribner, known to the underworld as Stupid Sam.
Sam Scribner was a smallish, pleasant-looking man with a record of petty theft. Small stuff. Only once had he served a major rap, and that was in the federal pen for auto theft. Police were doubtful that this petty crook had cracked the big time, but they pulled him in. No big-time lineup methods were used. Little Sam Scribner sat at a table, and victims of the grocery store theft were asked to identify him. Eye to eye with an armed hold-up artist, eyewitnesses became victims of failing memories. Just plain frightened, they said,
"No, he's not the guy. I don't think."
Bakersfield police had nothing on small-time Sam Scribner, so they released him. But from that time on, Scribner had two faithful followers of the plainclothes variety, watching, waiting for him to make one false move. He made it. He violated a speeding law.
This is Officer Lacey High of the Bakersfield, California Police Department. Upon stopping this man and questioning him in regards to his actions, Scribner stated, "Why don't you fellows pick on someone else for a while?" Upon talking to this man for a while, we then released him again for the purpose of watching his actions.
Released again, small-time Sam knew he was being given enough rope to hang himself, so he was careful. Too careful. A shining model citizen. Meanwhile, the police laid out pipelines to California's underworld, trying to determine if Sam was involved, who was his companion in crime, who had planned the job, who was the brains.
This Scribner, does he have a pal? An Indian-looking fella? A guy who uses makeup?
They got an answer.
Sure, everybody knows him. Real bright, too. Knows his way around. His name is, Seminole. At least that's what they call him. I don't know his last name. Maybe he ain't got one.
Seminole. Now police went to work looking for Seminole. They didn't find him. But while they were busy searching for Seminole, small-time Sam suddenly disappeared. But he wasn't out of sight for long. On May 5th, 1947, police had news of the disappearing twosome.
Officer Wayne G. Huffman of the Oregon State Police, Oakland, Oregon. Our department received a report of a bank robbery from the E.G. Young Bank at Oakland, Oregon, which was robbed by two gunmen. One flourished a pistol, and the other had a revolver on his hip. Number one subject was described as around 30 years, 5'8", 155 pounds. Number two subject was described as around 60 years, very dark complected, had slanty eyes, the appearance of an Indian, and pockmarked face. Also had the appearance of wearing makeup. There were two customers in the bank, and the robbers gave orders through hand signals. They were carrying a small black bag and obtained approximately $31,000 in loot.
The descriptions of the Oakland hold-up men reached California police, and they identified them as the missing pair, Sam and Seminole. Meanwhile, Oregon set up roadblocks, but the pair had vanished. However, several days later, all alone and innocent-looking, small-time Sam reappeared in Bakersfield.
We could have picked him up, but what was the use? We still had no case. We were waiting for Seminole to come back to town so as we could get identification.
But Seminole was busy elsewhere. He had moved into a sleepy western town named Sweet Home. This time he had a different accomplice.
I am Lois Stenberg, employed as the cashier at the Bank of Sweet Home, Oregon. I was present the morning the bank was robbed by two gentlemen, an older fellow, about 50, and a young fellow, about 30. They herded myself along with the other employees and customers to the rear of the bank, and then the older gentleman, who was an Indian-type person, ordered us to open the vault, and since it was already open, we didn't know just what to do. We didn't want to just open it. We stalled as long as we could. He got quite serious about it all, so we opened it. He handed me a sugar sack and ordered Mr. Horton to put the money in the sack. He took it, was going to lock us in there, but in his hurry, he went away without closing the door on us. They made their getaway with $50,500.
Sweet Home authorities, knowing nothing of the Bakersfield, California, and Oakland, Oregon jobs, went to work on their own.
This is Sergeant Larius of the Oregon State Police with headquarters in Albany, Oregon. Immediately after the Sweet Home Bank job was perpetrated, it was necessary to make a thorough search for the getaway car, which we presume was in the immediate vicinity. An all-afternoon search failed to locate this car. It was found, however, the next day on a side road in the vicinity of Foster, Oregon, which is about 3 miles from the bank job. On locating the car, we found it was one that had been stolen in Eugene, Oregon the night before. This car was returned to Sweet Home, where a thorough search for fingerprints was made, without results. However, we had a good composite description of the two bandits, and the search was continued.
Description number 1, obviously Seminole. Description number 2 did not fit small-time Sam. Seminole was working with a new and younger accomplice, a good-looking 30-year-old. But once again, all traces of the men evaporated. Sweet Home Police began detailed checking of every man, woman, and child in town whose activities were doubtful, trying to get a lead. And they got it.
The sheriff became interested in a man known as Joseph Barry Bishop, an ex-convict.
Mike Southard, Sheriff of Lynn County, Albany, Oregon. I received a letter from the Sheriff of Oklahoma asking me to investigate a Bishop family who had just recently arrived here and located in a government housing project in Sweet Home. Deputy Sheriff Miller and myself searched the place and found a large family, apparently no means of support, and they were living well. There's 9 boys in the family, and 7 of them we learned later were ex-convicts. We checked very closely, but didn't find any stolen stuff. And at that time, we took a statement from Joe Barry Bishop. He claimed to me that he were playing poker and was making his money that way. But we didn't believe it because he wasn't a poker type. Later, the Sweet Home Bank was robbed. We were called about 1:30, I believe. My deputy, George Miller, and myself went up there. We went to the bank and attempted to talk with the FBI in Mansfield. He was very busy checking bill numbers and getting things ready, and I was very suspicious of Joe Barry at that time, so I went across the street to a pool room and picked him up and brought him over and talked to him. Did not arrest him, but questioned him. The description of the robbers didn't fit Joe Barry Bishop, but we suspected him being the finger man because of all this money being spent. A finger man is one who plans the job but doesn't actually participate in the job. Joe Barry, living in Sweet Home, naturally, he knew the bank, the setup, and he was placed in a pool room diagonally across the street where he could, if he desired, watch the operation. The next morning, when Officer Mansfield was less busy, we gave him a detailed description of all that we had in our notebooks in regarding to Joe Barry Bishop.
This is Howard I. Bobbitt, formerly agent in charge of the Federal Bureau of Investigation at Portland, Oregon. Investigation of this case showed that Joe Barry Bishop was a very logical suspect among 4 or 5 other suspects. Surveillance maintained upon Joe disclosed that he had bought a truck in which he gave about 99 $10 bills in series. This was the first lead that indicated that Bishop had an undisclosed sum of money which might possibly tie him into the Sweet Home Bank robbery. This led to his arrest in Oklahoma. At that time, money was found in the back end of Joe Barry Bishop's car. Other monies were recovered from this bank robbery, some of them from a steering wheel in another car. Another batch of money was recovered from a jar which had been buried upon a farm in Oklahoma, and still a third was recovered from a fruit jar which had been suspended under the seat in a chick sales in one of the Oklahoma farms. Joe Barry Bishop was brought from Oklahoma to Portland, Oregon, And at that time, he was interrogated by agents of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. He, in the hopes of reducing his sentence before the federal court, gave information which implicated Sam Scribner, Henry Clay Tollett, and Henry Clay Tollett's illegitimate son, Henry Clay Green.
Joe Barry Bishop, wise in the ways of the court, had given police the information they were waiting for. He put the finger on the slatty-eyed makeup artist who posed as an Indian. Seminole's real name was Henry Clay Tollett.
Henry Clay Tollett was the brains. Small-time Sam was strictly an employee. And as for Henry Clay Green, Tollett's son, well, crime just came natural in the family.
Now the gang was identified. Identification was one thing. Finding them was another. Police began backtracking on Tollett, looking for his present whereabouts through his past.
It was easy enough checking up on his past. It was all in the police files. Way back in 1923, he got caught for, of all things, cattle rustling. Spent 2 years in the pen for that. Then he went into the big time with the armed robbery of 2 Oklahoma banks. He went back to jail in 1936 with a 30-year rap, and he found a home in the pen. And a hobby. He learned to use theatrical makeup. Nobody thought he'd get out, but 16 years later, this cookie had a good behavior record which gets the eye of the parole board. All of a sudden, he's out.
And back in business.
We thought we knew everything about the guy except his whereabouts. Then we had a shocker.
A 14-year-old girl called the state police. She wanted protection. She said her husband was beating her and she was afraid. The state police turned the case over to the county probation department.
This is Mrs. Kathleen White, Deputy Probation Officer of Tulare County, located in Visalia, California. I received a call that a child bride was being mistreated and abused and beaten by her husband. I visited in the home of the parents where the child was then staying. I learned that Claudia was only 14 years of age and that she had met this 54-year-old man through friends of hers who had induced her to go to Las Vegas for the purpose of marrying. She was married and returned to Bakersfield, California with her husband, where she was kept prisoner for 2 or 3 months or until this escape. I learned that the name of this man was Henry Clay Tollett, also known as Seminole.
55-year-old Henry Clay Tollett, ex-con, bank heist artist, wanted for 3 big jobs, was the husband of a 14-year-old almost woman, the husband of a child. Now probation authorities went to work, and according to our reconstruction of the facts, they learned...
Claudia comes from a plenty poor family. The kid met Seminole at a party. He fell for her. She was kind of pretty in a baby way. Well, he filled her full of alcohol and took her to Las Vegas, where he married her.
Yeah, he beat her up a lot, for kicks. Some of the gang he went with beat her up, too. Then he took her to his sister's house. When he was away on a business call, the sister used to babysit his wife.
Claudia tried to beat it 12 times, but one of Tollett's friends always brought her back. Once he threatened to swing her around by her heels and crack her skull if she didn't stay home. Of course, she was scared. But scared or not, she finally got loose.
Tulare County now filed a warrant for Tollett on 2 counts of statutory rape on behalf of his child bride.
Then the important information came through. A hot tip on Seminole's hideout in California.
This is Lieutenant Ernest Fisher of the Kern County Sheriff's Office, located in Bakersfield, California. Accompanied by Deputy Sheriff Merle Stoops and city police officers, we proceeded to a residence approximately 6 miles west of Bakersfield. The city police department officers covered the front door, while Deputy Stoops and I covered the rear. Lieutenant Greer rapped on the front door. A man answered. Lieutenant Greer called, "Seminole, I would like to talk to you." The man come to the door, and the city officers rushed him with their guns drawn. Tollett jumped back by his bed, where he had a grip containing 3 loaded revolvers. He had no chance to get a gun from the grip. I asked Tollett if he wished to make a statement at this time. He says, "Yes, I want a lawyer." As Detectives High, Toll and myself were leaving the Tollett residence to go to the Beardsley Dance Hall to pick up Sam Scribner. I told Deputy Sheriff Stoops to search Tollett and the premises.
This is Deputy Sheriff Merrill Stoops. On making a search of Tollett's person, we found, concealed in his shorts, a Bull Durham bag, which contained over $100 in cash, which was tied to the lower extremities. We then took him to headquarters.
This is Lieutenant Fisher of the Sheriff's Department again. We entered the Beardsley Dance Hall, where my informant had told me Sam Scribner would be that evening, and immediately located Sam Scribner near the rear of the dance hall. My informant was sitting next to him, passed out drunk. Rather than to give Scribner a chance to pull a gun or flee, we attracted all of our attention to the orchestra. We walked back towards the rear of the dance hall, and as we got even with Scribner, I whirled, grabbed him, and immediately placed the handcuffs on him. This embarrassed Scribner very much. He kept saying over and over, "Fisher, what did I ever do to you to make you embarrass me in front of a lot of people this way?"
Now, embarrassed small-time Sam was arrested and taken into custody with his big-time pal, Seminole Tollett. Once again, witnesses were called in. Now that both armed robbers were in custody, the witnesses talked.
That's the Indian-looking fella.
Sure, now I remember the other one.
Yeah, but he looked different that day.
There was only one outstanding member of the gang left, Seminole's son, Henry Clay Green.
They picked him up near Woodsville, Oklahoma. He was living with his wife, hiding out with friends.
The roundup of the West Coast gang complete, the courts went to work.
Fingerman Joe Barry Bishop turned state's evidence. He received a sentence of 2.5 years.
Son Henry Clay Green was sentenced to 6 years and 4 months for his part in the Sweet Home job.
Small-time Sam Scribner was sentenced to 2 concurrent terms of 20 years apiece for both his California and Oregon convictions.
As for Henry Clay Tollett, alias Seminole, the brains of the mob, he received 2 25-year sentences to run concurrently at the federal penitentiary at McNeil Island.
Here again is Walter McGraw.
So finally, Seminole was sent up. Henry Clay Tollett was jailed in one of the toughest penitentiaries of this country, a federal pen where every day is a special day for safety measures.
Seminole immediately got attention because of good behavior. Was that guy good? Wings sprouted from his shoulders. He had a halo. He said he was practicing for another life.
And he was.
There was a big storm at McNeil Island, a regular hurricane. Everyone thought the pen was going to blow away. The guards were plenty busy with the weather. So Tollett, with the help of a couple of friends, got himself bolted into a case of furniture. You know, the kind that's made in a prison and shipped out for federal office use. Well, Tollett was shipped out with 3 waste paper baskets and a filing cabinet.
On November 22nd, 1949, Henry Clay Tollett left McNeil Island in a special trunk to Washington. But somewhere along the way, he melted into the night, right out of the crate to freedom.
An alarm was sounded. First the state of Washington, then Oregon, and then the entire Southwest. 6 tips came in, but no payoff. Henry Clay Tollett has been named in bank jobs in New Mexico, San Francisco, Chicago, and New York. But leads, as of this moment, they have none. It is not our function here to determine the guilt or innocence of a man, nor do we intend to. But according to the facts you've heard tonight, and or other pertinent material, Henry Clay Tollett is wanted.
Here again is Walter McGraw.
You can help find Henry Clay Tollett. Remember, you, the listener, have already run up an impressive record with the apprehension of 3 of the 9 fugitives we've brought to your attention. But to bring Tollett to justice, you must be informed of all the facts. What does he look like? How does he dress? What are his habits? These we will give you, so stand by. How can you recognize him? Listen, and listen carefully.
This is E.A. Walls, Chief of Detectives, Bakersfield, California. Wanted, Henry Clay Tollett, age 55, height 5 foot 9 inches, weight 180 pounds, hair gray, eyes brown, complexion dark, cut scar below corner of right eye. Tattoos, Henry Goldie Clay. Black cat and number 13 tattooed on left calf. Walks with slouch.
Now back to Walter McGraw in New York.
If you should see Henry Clay Tollett, do not approach him on the street. Call your own local police department or the FBI. Give them the fullest possible information. Now, to help you, the voice of the underworld.
Make no mistake about it. This Henry Clay Tollett is some operator. Don't think this guy is a dope, because he ain't a dope. He's a very smart guy. He learned how to smear his kisser with makeup when he was in McAllister Penitentiary. He learned every trick of the trade. But this baby has got one weakness. He's crazy about California. He loves the weather. He loves the climate, and he loves the broads. You'd think a guy like this, if he's so smart, would hit someplace where it snows once in a while. But this baby has got a fix on California. So if you want to grab this guy, he's in and out of that place, like Bakersfield, practically every month. And if somebody can spot him, who knows makeup, they're going to pick this boy up.
If you have no other way of seeing a picture of Henry Clay Tollett, go to your local post office. A poster with his picture and description is on the wall. Study that face.
Henry Clay Tollett is 55 years old, height 5 feet 8.5 inches. A native of Arkansas whose speech is flavored with an Okie drawl. He's squat, heavy-set. Weight between 180 and 200 pounds. His hair, normally gray, is frequently shoe-polished black. A makeup artist, usually disguised as an Indian, he walks with a slouch.
Henry Clay Tollett is one of the top 10 fugitives in this country today. No easy job to trap. He's fast and smart. He plans a bank job like a businessman plans a campaign. But you can stop him. You can put him where he belongs. Right now, I have information that he's in California, probably not too far from Bakersfield. He's depending on his makeup to hide his identity. But Tollett, like many another fugitive, is a heavy drinker. He forgets himself. So bartenders, waitresses, restaurant owners, this is your case. California, watch out. Tollett's out there. You can bring him in. Now, this is Walter McGraw saying, there's no time like now to wipe out crime.
Be with us again next week when you will hear the actual people give their eyewitness accounts of the tattooed man with a double identity. Wanted. Wanted for armed robbery.
All material heard tonight was factual, from the record. Real names were used. No one was protected. Tonight's report was written by P.L. Mayer. Music was directed by Morris Momorsky. The narrator was Fred Collins. Wanted was supervised for NBC by Joel Hamill and produced and directed by Walter McGraw.
Tollett did not survive. Well, he survived this, but he ended up passing away June 4th, 1951, after a fatal accident while escaping the police in a stolen car. One more proof that crime does not pay. The story of Henry Clay Tollett on Wanted, 75 years ago, September 8, 1950, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Head to Pine Ridge, Arkansas, see what's going on with Lum and Abner in a moment.
Hi, I'm Sarah Purcell. The IRS has over 90 free publications to help you with your taxes. Use the order form in your tax package to get any of them. Let the IRS work for you.
Well, Lum and Abner are still in a vacation mood, so let's head to Pine Ridge, Arkansas, see what's going on with Lum and Abner in this episode from September 8th, 1942.
The makers of Alka-Seltzer bring you Lum and Abner. it's Lum and Abner time. Time to leave your cares and your worries behind and enjoy 15 minutes in the friendly, quiet atmosphere of Pine Ridge. But if in real life your peace and comfort are being disturbed right now by an unpleasant headache, touch of acid indigestion, or muscular aches and pains, help yourself to real relief by drinking a glass of sparkling, refreshing Alka-Seltzer. Remember that. For the prompt relief it can give in these common ailments, fix yourself a glass of friendly, dependable Alka-Seltzer. See how pleasant it is to the taste and how it helps you feel better fast. Remember, you can get Alka-Seltzer at any drugstore, either by the package or by the glass. Now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum and Abner still haven't figured out where to spend their vacation. The Midwest Economy Travel Agency turned out to be nothing more than a new company formed by Mousy Gray, offering only one vacation tour, a round trip to Cherry Hill. And even that possibility vanished with the discovery that the company's streamlined bus, which was Cedric's car, had 3 flat tires. As we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows in their jot-em-down store and library discussing the matter of a vacation. Listen.
Well, let's see. We might go down to Texas and visit my brother-in-law, Fred, down there along.
Fred?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to visit no relays. I want to enjoy this vacation.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I tell you, how about going to Chicago and seeing that there Columbian Exposition?
The Columbia Exposition?
Yeah, there's something I've always wanted to see. I've heard Grandpappy Spears talk about it so much, I'd just love to see it.
For goodness sakes, Abner, that ain't running no more.
It ain't?
Of course not. They closed that up a long time ago.
Well, I do know. Just couldn't make a go of it, huh?
No, they done all right with it, but them things just runs for about a year or so. And that was way back in 18-something.
Oh.
Besides, I believe I got a better idea, Abner.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, it's an idea that come to me while I was looking at that book we got in the library over there, Gilbert the Boy Trapper.
Oh, yeah, I've read that myself. I don't recollect Gilbert taking no vacation, did he?
No, but here's my idea.
We ain't going out and trap, are we?
No. Why don't we go back to nature?
Go back to nature?
Yeah. What we want more than anything else is a change, and I believe that kind of a change would do us more good than going to some city or crowded resort. I know it'd be a heap more healthful for us.
Yeah, well, here, wait a minute, old Lum. I believe I've jumped the track there somewhere. Whereabouts is this nature place at?
Well, it ain't no certain place. It's every place where civilization ain't been yet.
Huh?
It's up in the hills or out in the forests or down by the river. Places where animals live, but no humans.
Doggy, that don't sound like much of a vacation to me, living with a bunch of animals.
Well, it is, though. It's good for a man to get away from this city life we live here in Pine Ridge and get back to the land, get back to the good earth, and live like our ancestors done.
Like who done?
Our ancestors.
Well, I never heard of them. I know the Abernathy sisters, but I know they never went out and lived in the woods with no animals.
I never said sisters. I said ancestors. That means our forefathers.
Forefathers?
Now, don't tell me you never knowed you had forefathers.
Doggies, if I did, there was 3 of them that never showed up around the place, I'll say that.
Don't mean that. I mean our relates way back yonder, our great-great-great-great-great-grandpas and all that.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so? Well, I couldn't say where they live. But I know my papa and grandpapa both lived in houses just same as we do.
Well, I don't mean that we give up living in houses. This is just for a few days, Abner. Just to give us a chance to get close to nature for a change.
Yeah.
Now, here's what we can do. We'll ride the mail hack out in the country a ways, and then we'll get off and just strike out across the country.
Well, here, are we going to walk?
Why, natural. Facts is, to do this right, we ought to walk barefooted.
Barefooted?
Yes, sir. Of course, I've got sort of tender feet, so I think I'll wear my shoes. Leastways to start out with, but now you can wear your, you don't have to wear no shoes.
Lum, I don't much believe I'll take no vacation this year.
Now, yes, you will, Abner. It'll do you good. Give you a fresh outlook on life.
And sore feet, too.
Well, we'll strike out through the brush, eating berries off of the bushes and roots that we dig up out of the ground.
Roots?
Why, sure.
Ain't we going to take no grub along?
Of course not. We ain't taking nothing along. We're going to learn to live by our brains and bare hands.
Bare hands, huh?
Yes, sir.
I believe that's better for me. Are we going to wear any clothes on this trip at all?
Oh, sure, a few. What I wish we could wear is a couple of leopard skins, but I don't know where in the world to get none.
Well, if I find out, I ain't going to tell you. I'll tell you that.
We might be able to catch a couple of wildcats and skin them. I don't know.
Now, how are we going to catch wildcats if we don't take nothing along to catch 'em with? You said we wasn't taking nothing with us, didn't you?
That's right. We just have to learn how to stalk the animals and then leap on them when they ain't looking.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. I'd like to leap on a wildcat when he ain't looking.
I reckon springing at them from out of a tree would be the best way to do it, come to think about it. Gilbert done that once when he lost his gun or something.
Dog it, I wish Gilbert was going along with us on this trip, you know it?
Oh, we don't need him. All you need to get along with nature is common sense and strong hands. Grannies, I can't hardly wait to get out there in the wilderness amongst the peaceful trees, far from this sordid civilization.
Lama, you must have been reading some other book besides Gilbert the Boy Trapper. I don't recollect none of that in there.
Well, I did read another book, come to think about it. A feller named Thoreau, I believe.
Oh?
He had some good ideas, too. I'll say that for him.
Well, if I was having my druthers, Mom, I believe I'd just rather go down to Texas and visit old Fred for a few days.
No, visiting Fred ain't going to uplift your spirits none, Abner.
He's a fine man.
This nature idea is exactly what we need. We get soft sitting around the store here. What we need is to get out and rough it.
Well, I don't mind roughing it particular long, but I think we're carrying this a little too far.
Prattle. This is something every feller ought to do at least once a year. Get back to the soil, live in the open. Just think, when night comes, we won't crawl in an old stuffy bed in a stuffy house.
What do we do?
Well, we'll make us a bed out of branches and leaves. Break the branches with our bare hands, too. And for a blanket, we'll just use the stars up above us.
Okay, that blanket's going to be awful long ways from the bed, I'll say that for us.
Oh, you love it, though, Abner. It's the only way for a man to live.
Yeah, but long won't them branches stick us in the back? And what if there's bugs and things around there?
Well, who cares about a few little... Granny, there might be bugs or something, mightn't there?
Why, sure there will be.
Well, what we might do, just take along a mattress to sleep on. Just a little one, though. Little old rough mattress.
Yeah, that's a good idea, yeah.
Yeah, if a feller's going to live a rugged life, he's got to get a good night's rest. I've always said that.
Oh, yeah, good night's rest is the thing we'll need, yeah.
Then we'll feel good and peppy when we jump out of bed at daybreak.
Daybreak?
Yeah, that's the time to get up. Get up with the sun. The cool, crisp morning air gives you an awful big appetite for breakfast.
Well, what do we do for breakfast, Odie? Just dig up some more roots?
Hadn't thought about that. Roots wouldn't taste awful good early in the morning that way, would they?
No, I don't much believe they would. I'll tell you how we can fix them, old Lon. We can put some bacon and eggs and some coffee and stuff along with them. That'd go pretty good.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what we might do, Abner. We might take some bacon and stuff along. Just for breakfast, though, you understand?
Yeah, just for breakfast.
For our other meals, we'll go back to berries and roots.
Yeah.
But I believe a man's better fit for a good rugged day in the open if he's got a good breakfast under his belt.
Oh, there ain't no doubts about that. I might eat 3 of them a day. Well, what do we do after breakfast?
Oh, let's see. Something rugged, I know. Can't think exactly what it is, though.
Well, maybe we ought to take a checkerboard along, and then we could sit there on a mattress and have a couple of games of checkers while we're trying to study up something rugged to do.
Well, yeah, we might do that.
Yeah.
We have to rest part of the day, so we might as well do that, I reckon.
Yeah, a little rugged checkerboard.
Of course, we just take a small checkerboard.
Yeah. I might take some fishing poles along, too, and do a little fishing.
Well, we don't need them, because we're supposed to learn how to catch the fish with our bare hands.
Bare hands?
Why, sure. Gilbert done it that way once when he got himself lost or something.
Oh, as long as I'm feared that's going to take an awful long time, catching fish that way. What do we do, just dive in after them, or wait till they jump out of the water and then grab them?
It might take quite a long time at that.
Why, of course it will. Fact, it won't leave us no time hardly to dig roots.
That's right.
Yeah?
Well, maybe we ought to take along a couple of poles and some tackle. Just rough poles, though.
Oh, yeah, rough ones.
That'll give us more time for all them strenuous things we're aiming on doing.
Yeah,
rough stuff.
Say, Lom, I don't believe we can walk through the brush very far, though, and carry all this stuff we're taking with us. We'll get ourselves all wore out before we even get started.
Yes, sir. I was just thinking the same thing myself.
Why, sure.
A wore-out man ain't no good for the rugged life out in the open.
Why, no.
Here's what we might do is ride the mail hack clean up to where the road hits the bend in the river.
Oh, right up there by that there Shady Rest camp?
Yeah, that's the place.
Well, say, Lon, maybe we could just stay at one of them cabins there.
A cabin?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, I just figured that away. Why, we won't have to lug that mattress along, and then we wouldn't be so wore out, and we could do more of them rugged things you're talking about.
Grannies, I believe you got a point there, Abner. Just a small, rough cabin, though. Nothing big and fancy.
Oh, no, just a little one.
One without no curtains in it.
Yeah, do without curtains.
Or no rug on the floor.
No rug, no.
Yeah, I believe you got a point there, Abner.
Of course, I don't reckon, though, there's many roots to dig around there, or berries. That's pretty well cleared out. Maybe we ought to take our meals there at the hotel they got there, Lon.
Well, that would save us a lot of time, wouldn't it?
Why, sure
Think
it would.
about it.
Yeah.
What if they serve any rough meals there?
Well, I reckon we could order them that way. And as long as we're eating there, we might just well stay at the hotel, too. It's a heap cheaper that way. Or at least ways according to Caleb we hunted here.
Caleb Weehunt?
Yeah, him and his woman spent a whole week up there this summer. Had an awful good time, they said. Went to a moving picture show might nigh every night.
Moving picture show?
Yeah.
Do they have movies there?
Yeah, they got them. Caleb said they had sort of a big outdoor place fixed up for showing them moving pictures.
Oh, outdoors, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's different.
That hotel there is where Caleb claims him and his woman win the prize for being the best waltzers on the floor.
Waltzers?
Yeah, he says they have a dance there every Saturday night, I believe it is.
Aye, Grannies, I can waltz rings around that Caleb any day of the year.
Why, sure, you can outwaltz him. Ain't no doubts about it, Lon.
Has the mail hack left town yet today?
Why, no, it don't generally leave for about an hour yet, Lon.
Good. That'll just give us enough time to get ready.
We going to leave today?
Why, sure. Ain't no time like the present to do something, Abner. I've always said that. Besides, we want to get there for Saturday night so we be sure and get a reservation at the hotel.
Yeah.
So we'll close the store up right now and leave right away. That is, if you're game for this. You've acted a little bit like you was again a back-to-nature idea of mine.
Well, I admit I was at first, Lon, but I believe you talked me into it sure the world.
Well, good. Now, you hurry home and get packed up, and I'll do the same. And in less than an hour, we'll be off for the rugged life out in the open. Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
Granny, looks like we're going to have to postpone our rugged back-to-nature trip after all.
Huh?
Look out there. Dad blaming it's starting to sprinkle.
Starting to sprinkle?
Yeah, a man can't get back to nature in a weather like this. Friends, when it's your misfortune to be troubled with a touch of acid indigestion, remember this, will you? Help yourself to fast relief by drinking a glass of sparkling Alka-Seltzer. Remember, too, that Alka-Seltzer does more than just simply neutralize excess gastric acidity. It also helps relieve that uncomfortably full, stuffy feeling, too. If you're not already acquainted with the fast, twofold relief that Alka-Seltzer offers, try it, won't you? Remember, all druggists have Alka-Seltzer in both 30 and 60-cent size packages.
Old Lum decides he's not going to be quite that rugged, don't you know? Oh, my goodness. 83 years ago, September 8th, 1942, Lum and Abner here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Join us on our Tuesday podcast where we'll have Ozzie and Harriet, Milton Berle, Rudy Valley, my favorite husband, and Lum and Abner as they continue their consideration of where they're going to vacation. Have a great Monday and a great week ahead. See you tomorrow for more Classic Radio Theater. We'll be right here for you. I'm Wyatt Cox.